Wednesday, everybody. Waiting for everybody's cameras to load in. Hi.
Oh.
Hello. We're here. Yeah, it's been a while, so we're gonna get right into it. First, we're going to introduce our lovely players here on the screen. For everybody at home, in the top left of your screen, it's Soul.
Hello, everyone. My name is Soul. I use they, them pronouns, and I don't have anything to plug yet. Soon. I am your Tabaxi Inquisitive Rogue, Sinark, for some eBay.
Sinark for some reason. Top right of everybody's screen.
I almost forgot.
Top right of everybody's screen, it's Alyssa.
Hello. I'm Alyssa. My pronouns are they, them, and I play Revelation, our Circle of Stars druid Asimar, who uses she, they pronouns and is a good person.
Questionable. Moving on to Sharmy.
Hi, I'm Sharmy, also known as Captain Sharmy, various places around the internet. I will be playing Aurora Incineratus, the Fire Genasi Sorcerer Hot Girl, and we both use she, her pronouns.
Aki.
Hello, I'm Aki, or Kino Feeling Fancy. Pronouns are she, her, and I play Dayu Silverhair, our bunny bard necromancer who also uses she, her pronouns. I don't think I have anything to plug.
Wow, that's new for you. Moving on to Mari.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm Mariana. I also go by Lagrimosa with a 0 on Twitter and other places. And I play Jesus. I'm a scramble. I'm so sorry. I play
Jesus?
Nikita.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm playing Jesus. My bad. Anyway, I play Nikita, the Wood Elf Barbarian, and we both use she, her pronouns.
And last but not least, hello everybody, I'm Mandy, or the Mandy as you know me all over the internet. I do the things and the stuff, and if you're going to be in the Indianapolis vicinity this weekend, I will also be there. So yeah, where things happen and stuff happens, because I already paid for my hotel. Anyway, let's recap what happened last episode, because it was a lot and also not a lot. The list is not long. The party finally left the Undercity, or the city below, as some might call it, to find themselves coming through a secret passageway into the barracks outside of the Duke's Court, where you met up with some guards and convinced them that you were exactly where you were supposed to be, because Aurora is a smooth talker, and somehow managed to get a no notice, no appointment meeting with both Lord Hallowgate and the Duke of the Hallowgate Necropolis, Garrett Cavendish, the Arch-Lich. A lot of things happened in that conversation. You negotiated to get some pretty cool stuff in exchange for information that Lord Hallowgate wanted, because that is the kind of individual that they are. They want more power than the Duke, so of course they want all of the secrets first. You got quite a lot of loot for that, including 1,000 gold. You've got some horses, and you managed to get a 5th level spell scroll as a gift as well, in terms of immediate aid. And in exchange, you provided him with information about the festering, about the attack on Blockade, about what you saw in the Undercity, as well as the very notion that you did see the Sovereign's Bell, but you did not retrieve it from the Undercity, therefore leaving it out of the clutches of the Duke, which is precisely what Lord Hallowgate wanted. So that was more than worth its weight in gold to them, and so they were happy to, after some chit-chatting, happy to reward you for those things. After you told Lord Hallowgate about the festering, he, in the moment, got very distressed by this, because naturally this is an unnatural phenomenon and nobody knows anything about these creatures or what they do or where they come from. And so he immediately led you to the throne room where the Duke presides, where you found that Duke Cavendish was having a meeting with Death Sentinels in the flesh, not in Sombroluz, not in Limbo. And so that was a very interesting experience, particularly for Dayu, because a Death Sentinel that she knows happens to be present, and they exchanged some very nasty words, which ended in Sinark punching this Death Sentinel directly in the face, which I must say was extremely satisfying, because this Sentinel is an asshole. They exchanged some more nasty words, and then he walked away. You then had conversations with both the Duke and Lord Hallowgate about the festering after Lord Hallowgate showed a variety of spectral images within the room to illustrate all of the visions that Dayu had imparted upon Lord Hallowgate, so that the Duke would understand the full weight of the issue. The consequence of which showed that Maylin was not quite acting like herself afterwards, because she had to witness her death again on repeat in that room. So that was sad. And then we had some, not sad things. You all went back to the Busty Banshee, the inn that you stayed in your first foray into the city. I'm never gonna stop laughing at the name of that place. I laughed when I wrote it, and I'm still laughing today. Where you all got baths and provisions and secured rooms, plural, for yourselves. We had some spicy moments between Aurora and Nikita, which ended in a fade to black, and spicy moments between Dayu and Kazuhiko, also fade to black. We love to recount the gayness in this game. And so I believe that was where we ended things for the evening, was that you all, got a nice long rest after all of this. So if you have not hit the button, now is the time. Is the time, my dears. And so, oh yes, and one final detail, I forgot to say this because I said it off camera and it made me forget. Aurora received a letter with the insignia, with a seal marked for the Incineratus clan, which means that it is very likely from her mother, Nova. And, where we left off, Aurora still had not quite read that letter. So, what are you all doing?
I have a question about the sleeping arrangements
Sure.
for what we chose
Are you all paired up now?
last
Is that-
evening. I wanted to know if that's the case.
You guys can decide that for yourselves, I suppose.
Well, Aurora specifically shelled out for a separate room. You guys do get what you did.
Wait, did Aurora shell out for a separate room for herself, or a separate room for herself and Nikita?
Herself and Nikita.
Okay.
That was the express purpose of this.
Oh.
It doesn't even need to be used for sleeping, technically.
Oh, I mean,
Except for Nikita.
that's also fine.
The door's open. I mean, not to the room. I mean, like.
Oh. Oh my god.
Woo!
Okay. It's,
Speed running,
oh,
probably.
you weren't
My
in
bad.
when you said y'all were froggy today.
My bad.
Mandy,
Hmm.
call highs or lows.
Highs.
Amazing. Phenomenal. We also got a separate room.
Oh, okay. Well,
Would you like to know what I rolled? I just rolled a percentile die, but tell me why I landed on 100.
you can't get any higher than that, truly. So. Yeah, it's gonna be like that, is it? Okay, cool. Love that.
We're here.
Hey, okay, so the party is split in terms of rooms. We've got Aurora and Nikita, Dayu and Kazuhiko, Sin and Rev, and Maylin is, you don't know where she is. She's gone off to get some boba tea. Not booba tea.
You're missing out.
Yep.
Missing out on this grand marketing scheme.
That's for the next campaign. There'll be a booba tea place.
Can you imagine like the Busty Banshees, like that one fucking painting where that woman
Oh,
battling
and she's got the
with the
drink.
teacup? Yeah. But instead, it's boba.
The fact that I knew immediately what you were talking about,
It wasn't a painting. It was a photo. Yeah.
Yes, it was a photo. That's right.
And it was teacups that she had. But like,
I have seen a painting version of that, and it was very satisfying. Anyway,
there's a VTuber whose model is like Renaissance art style, and she did that recently.
oh, dear
She's a
God.
plus size VTuber. Her model's so beautiful. But that chef's kiss.
Definitely talk about that after stream. I want to hear that. I want to hear all about that. Okay, so we've established you're all fucking. Okay, great. Love that. Moving on to the morning when you all wake up. What are we at Brooksel with that? Excuse me, am I wrong?
Look at the camera shake.
Listen, you all have been a party cule from episode 1. Are you really that shocked that I said you're all fucking? Like,
No.
Uh-oh.
It's my fucking fault.
Oh, teacups
Why
more
did
like
my
D-cups.
internet just disconnected for a second, so that's not great.
Oh, yes, it did.
Sorry.
Yeah,
let me-
blame Mari for the internet.
I had a monster. I'm so sorry.
Okay. I'm sorry. That killed me.
I feel
Yeah, okay. I don't know what's happening. It looks like it's fine. I don't
Think
think
so.
it's
Yeah.
I don't think the stream actually stopped.
The stream didn't stop.
The stream didn't stop. Okay, cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
I for the briefest moment had no internet. That was terrifying.
Wild.
Okay, fingers
We're
crossed that
frozen in space,
fingers
but
crossed that
we're-
this keeps up. I hate that. Okay, so night's over. It's morning. What are you all doing?
Well, technically, we have money. We should go shopping. Like we are supplied out, but also I don't know how keen we are to immediately jump back into preparation mode.
Not keen at all.
Well, did
wait.
anyone like actually check the scroll? Because above the table we know what it is, but
No,
Okay.
we never got a chance to.
No, you don't know
do
in
that.
character what it is.
Okay, so yeah, then Rev will be pushing for us to get a move on.
Actually, if you bring up the scroll, Dayu would probably try to check it.
Well,
Okay.
Sin definitely brings up the scroll because he's like, is this even useful? What is it? Who can use it? How does this work?
How does this work? What do I mean?
What's the role?
Do you have a spell or an ability that will allow you to identify the item?
Nope.
What are spells?
What are spells?
I don't get it.
I think the only one that could do something like that is identify, which
I'm
I think
pretty
is
sure
a
it's
wizard
just-
spell.
It's not just a wizard spell. Bards can do it as well. And
I can? Okay, well,
certain kinds of warlocks as well, I believe. I think it depends on the type of bard, whether or not you get identify.
Well, you know what we have a whole college of?
Yeah, you have a whole college of bards. It's true.
Yeah,
I can learn identify. Oh, oops.
Me last.
Yeah, I was
week
gonna
until-
say, bards can definitely learn identify.
I didn't know that. I mean, it's worth like $100 pearl, so I don't think we got one of those either. So
Yep, you need
also
pearl worth at
can't
least
do it.
100 gold and an owl feather.
And we
But
have-
yeah, bards, wizards, artificers, knowledge domain clerics, forge domain clerics, and inquisition domain. So, yes,
I'm an inquisitive rogue.
that
Can
doesn't
I-
count. If you were an advanced version of the arcane trickster rogue, maybe.
Gotcha.
Yep. So you've got that. Okay. So yeah, you can find somebody to identify it for you if you wish. You probably could have convinced Lord Hallowgate to, but he was just like, nah, I don't remember what this is, but you can have it. I feel that it's powerful and it should be useful to you. Here you go. I'm not wasting a spell slot on you pieces of shit. Here you go.
Shit, Lord.
He's such an asshole.
Then we traumatized them.
Sin.
I will say that
I-
Aurora got the impression that it was for teleportation magic, since that's kind of what she had asked for.
Well,
in
he
a
very
part of
specifically
implied response.
Yeah, he specifically said in character he did not know what the scroll was. So I don't know if he would have been able to give you that impression based on what was said in the conversation. You're just
I think
assuming.
it's more of Aurora is making some assumptions based
Okay.
off of what she asked for, and the you think there was part of our conversation that was like, since you asked so many questions about this specific type of magic, so she is not thinking about identifying it because of that reason. She thinks she knows what it is.
I need to call this out in chat because Drake said Lord Hella Gay, and I
Good
love
job,
that
Drake.
so much. I'm writing that down. Lord Hella Gay. Lord Hella Gay.
Jeez.
I love this so much.
I need to draw
Thank
a skater version of Lord Hallowgate, and that's Lord Hellagay. I'm sorry,
dying.
Mandy!
I'm dying.
I didn't notice that you were gonna take a drink. I'm so sorry.
That's so funny. I love that. Okay. So I am going to very specifically. I'm going to change the music actually. No, this feels too serious. There we go. That's better. Like tavern music. So you are all on. You're going to go and get this scroll identified. If anybody wants to, you can't really roll for it. You need to use the spell. You need to use the spell or find somebody who has the spell. Sorry. Okay. For that particular thing, Aurora. Are you ignoring this letter, or are you going to read it?
Am going to read it, probably either in complete privacy or only with Nikita there, if possible.
Okay. Do you wanna hold off on that then, like above table? Okay. Okay.
So, like, going along with the group, but like she's looking for her moment to get her shit together and read.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, so we're going to ID the scroll. Let's talk about options. Oh my god, I have to open my guide for the city. Jesus Christ. Hold on, please. Bring this over here. Because I have too many things. Sorry.
Me trying to find tabs in my computer.
Yeah.
I have 75 open tabs.
I have a bajillion. Okay, so you are currently, as a quick reminder, because it's been a hot minute since we've talked about the different segments of the city, you are currently on the lowest level of the city, which is known as Wickend, or the Dregs. That is where the Busty Banshee is located. There is a pawn shop, there's an undertaker, there's some taverns in this part of town, but it's mostly residential. But there are obviously like areas where there's shopping and things of that nature. The next level up is Musegrave, aka the Market District and the Arts District. These things are split. So like about half of that part of the city is arts, maybe a little less than half, and the other half is all shopping and import oriented. So there are a variety of things there. Mid-city is upper middle class residential almost strictly, with some minor exceptions, and then the rest is not really shopping area. So your best chances for finding a place to go is likely level 2. You'll want to go to the Market District more than likely. You may be able to visit Pestilence. Maybe she would be able to identify things for you. That oracle that you met previously.
I thought we made friends with, like, the guy to the Bard College.
Oh yeah,
guide.
you can go to the Bard College. I'm just saying. I mean, that's also near the Bard College as well. There
true.
may also be shops specifically oriented to this if you look around. The Order of the Scribe is a potential place for you to go. And then, of course, there's the Oracular Guild of the Quicksilver, which is where you met Pestilence. There's bakers, tailors, smithies, jewelers guild, map makers, and then of course the Bard College, all in that section. That's all in the arts district, actually. Other things like bookstores and things of that nature are in the market district.
Oh, Sin does bring up. Did you ever? When do you have to give back that shitty monster bug?
Yeah, just before I leave the city, I think. But I believe that library was up in the Pilgrim's Rest, right? In the
That is
Temple
correct.
District?
Oh,
Correct.
yeah, you're
Correct.
right.
It was in the Temple of Esherai, the Knowing.
Oh, if you don't need it, I'll just go ahead, run up, and drop it off for you.
I mean, I'd like to... We don't have much time, but I'd like to take a look at the library before we leave as well. So maybe do our shopping and then we can go?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So are we all? Where do you want to go? Where would you like to go first? You have many, many options. This city is your pearl, oyster, whatever. Words. I can't words
It
today,
do-
guys. It's been a long day.
So this one, it doesn't need to be RP'd.
Okay.
But Dayu would insist on getting one more diamond for Revivify's sake.
Okay.
Okay.
Because just having one is okay, but having two for a party of 6 is even better.
Okay.
It's gotta be 300.
It has to be, I think, minimum 300. Yeah.
The world is your crab salad. Thank you, Drake. Okay. Yeah, you are able to locate a jeweler that does have a diamond or an amount of diamonds that equates to the 300 gold minimum for Revivify. Okay, so so you're gonna spend 300 gold.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually,
Just-
can I haggle it? Can I haggle it?
Yes,
We're in an
sure.
art district.
Before we shop, quick question about the funds. How do we split them up? Are we going to use the 300 out of that before we split it up? What's our deal?
That's up to y'all.
I think that's smart. I think use the 300 and then split up the 700. As like a party thing. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay. So is out of total split the 700 gold remaining amongst all of you. Cool. So you want to haggle for the diamonds? Is that
If I wonder if I can.
I don't know. How often do you walk into a jewelry store and say, "Hey, I see this nice diamond ring here for $1,000. I think you could."
So often. Don't
Okay.
even. Don't even. So often.
Okay.
So
All right. Okay.
this
all
is
right.
real Jade. Real Jade. So often.
Okay. All right.
But it's
roll
a
me,
little-
roll me
yeah.
persuasion, and I will counter roll. Okay.
My ass is about to drop the Asian card on you so hard. I was born in haggling.
You don't
Raised
do that
in
in the US.
haggling.
Not regular, not chain jewelry stores anyway. I don't think.
Mhm.
At least I've never heard of people haggling at those. Markets, yes. In Thailand, I haggled for everything.
I'm just double checking what I rolled
Thai
here.
folks love to haggle.
It's a part of the culture. It's a part of the culture.
I
It's a part of
loved
the
it.
culture.
I wish
Yeah.
it was like that
Yeah.
here.
I-
I love to
as a-
haggle.
as-
I love
yeah,
to barter.
as
I love
a-
to trade. I love to haggle.
Yeah, it is a part of the culture.
That's I love that.
Yeah. Okay, that's fucking. Oh my god, calculator. Yeah, 26. Because I rolled 19 on the die.
They are willing to take 50 gold off. So
That's
250.
good with me. That's most generous, sir. Mass was prepared for like less than that.
So I guess instead of 700, you now have 750 to split between the five of you, really, unless you're going to give Kazuhiko funds as well.
He's a prince. He doesn't need it.
He's not a prince.
He's a lord. He doesn't need it.
He's a minor lord in a minor community. He's very
And a
powerful.
major inconvenience.
Oh boy, we're gonna take Rev's money actually. My God, it's up to y'all if you want to pay Kazuhiko. He's not gonna ask you for anything.
The thing is, Sid is assuming that Kazuhiko has his own pocket money.
He's the inheriting lord.
He does have some money on him, yes.
He gave me a moon touch sword for free at his house.
He's here for his GF.
Y'all acting like you would have survived the dungeon without him. He worked for the money.
Did he ask for payment? I didn't hear it.
I think Sin
Technically, no
as
one
a
else
character
you.
would want to split it with Kazuhiko.
Okay.
But if anyone even like balks at that, he would just split his own in half.
Okay.
So, Rev.
Okay. We're establishing that you pay Kazu. Okay.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I'll let you
That's
all figure out the math
that's
on that
actually-
because I don't care.
It's 125 each. It's an even split.
Okay. I will add 125 to his sheet. Okay. Okay. So now that we're done mathing, that's why I was like, we can do this later. I don't really care about this now, but it's better to just get it
We
done.
need to know
So
because if we're
you were okay. So you've got your diamond. Where do you want to go to identify the scroll, or do you want to do other things before you worry about the scroll?
Sin seems to be trying to get any chance to get away from the group. He's trying not to be obvious about it. But that like, he was like, "Oh, I can take the book for you," and it's just like, so I think he's like, "Oh, while you guys go on to the college, let me go ahead and see what provisions I can find us to take on the journey."
Roll me deception. I'm not asking anybody to insight. I'm not asking anybody to insight Sin right now. I'm inciting Sin.
6.
Can we tap insight, Sin?
I was gonna say Kazu is inciting Sin right now. That's why I asked for the roll. He is going to. He's gonna grab your sleeve and like kind of pull you like back a little bit, because he's probably walking in like the back of the crowd, and so he's gonna like hold you back for a minute. And he's gonna go, "Do you need to go take care of something? You've mentioned like 3 times now that you're wanting to go do stuff. If you need to leave, you can leave. Well, we can find you again later." He's being very subtle about this.
Sin looks at Kazuhiko and sort of gives a smile that doesn't reach his eyes. He's like, "You're right. I'll meet you guys later. Just wanted some time alone, and I don't know why I just didn't ask for it.
Okay. You're good though?
No. And he reaches up and he pats Kazuhiko's shoulder, tall ass motherfucker. And he's just like, but don't mention it.
Okay.
Thank you. And he's like,
He'll give your shoulder a pat as he walks around you to let you go.
mm-hmm. And Sin sort of gives a wave and shuffles, sort of shuffles into the crowd, and I think actively tries to disappear in the crowd to avoid people watching where he goes.
Roll me
So if
stealth.
anyone wants to roll it.
If anybody wants to roll perception to see where he goes, you may do so.
You don't have to! That was a natural one! He fucks that up completely.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So if you, unless you guys roll a natural one too.
We're off
Never
to a
mind.
great
No,
start.
I didn't do
Roll
that.
for it. Because technically that's a 9. So roll for it. Because some of you guys might roll really
Yeah.
badly.
Yeah.
I rolled a
sure.
natural 1.
Oh. That's so good. Oh boy.
Yeah.
2 ones in a row. Oh my god.
I
I
rolled
rolled a
low.
3, but that still gets me an 11.
Same. I rolled low. I got, but like I have like a motherfucker. That's like 18. Never mind. Like my
rolled
modifier.
18.
My modifier just smacks the shit out of me. Like that is low though, but it's just the modifier
Aurora
is
and
really
Dai
high.
were looking directly at Sin.
Mhm.
Oh my god.
Nikita's just like,
You see Sin try to like just slip away, and then he like ends up like crashing into like a person's cart that they're like pushing down the road, and he's just like, ah! Sorry, and just walks away. And he heads in the direction of the scribes.
You're going to. Hold on. Let me just reconfirm. You're going to the Order of the Scribe? Or
He wants to find stationery.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the Order of the Scribe would have stationery. Roll me a percentile dice.
Okay. I never get to roll this. Exciting. 53.
Okay, so you wander around in the arts district trying to see if you can find anything that looks like it looks like a stationery store or something like it, a place for wizards perhaps to pick up their materials and things of that nature. And you pass by a variety of stores while you are searching for this potential this potential foray that you are trying to find. But one thing I will note is as you are walking, you begin to smell the delicious scent of pastries. And as you round the corner, following your nose, because it is unavoidably delicious smelling, you see a lavender painted storefront that looks different from all of the other buildings. It's very homey. It has a nice little porch on the front with a swing. It has a brightly colored roof. I see Aki typing because you know exactly what this is. And there is a little bell, a little golden bell over the door, and above the arched doorway leading onto the porch is a beautiful sign with flowery script that says Nana Toppins. Or rather, Toppins Bakery.
Sin is like Sin, who is sort of on a mission, sort of like that ease slips into his step versus like the anxiety that like has been like eating him up, and sort of moves to like head over and peek his head in.
So you're gonna walk over to this place and peek your
Oh
head
yeah.
in? Excellent. So you step up onto the porch. The wooden stairs. There's just like a couple like very short stairs. They don't look like they were built for normal sized people. They're very like they're like half step up, and then you're on the porch. The wood creaks ever so slightly beneath your feet as you step onto the threshold of this porch. There's a lovely little doormat that seems to be hand woven, and you open up the door and you hear ding-a-ling-a-ling over your head as you open up the door, and inside you see beautiful display cases of all variety of things: breads, pastries, cookies, cake, eclairs, other various things and accoutrements. And there's a lovely little white counter, a little what looks to be kind of like a bronze sort of it's kind of like an old-timey register, and you don't see anyone behind the counter. But it smells amazing in here. You smell chocolate and butter and sugar and a little bit of salt in the air, and it's just delectable. Something is baking actively right now.
Do they have any like matcha tea cakes that he's specifically looking for stuff that you would find in the Veil of Night?
Yes.
And he is just like,
Yes.
he is drawn immediately over and is just sort of like looking, and he's just like,
They're in
hello?
a little display case right next to where the register is, and as you pad your way in, silently as you do, you walk up to this glass pane fronted display, and you do see little matcha cakes lined up. They're decorated very pristinely. I won't get too detailed on that, otherwise I'm going to make myself hungry. And you realize as you step up to the counter and you look around and you're like, there's nobody in here. But then you hear, oh yes, a customer, and you hear like little footfalls, and you realize that there is a little step stool, and by step stool I mean like there's a mini staircase on the other side of this counter, and a very, very tiny, very, very elderly dwarven woman with big round glasses and her hair up in a bun, like stark white hair up in a bun, steps up onto this little step stool behind the counter so that she is above the counter because it's normal human-sized counter, and she just says, oh yes, can I help you?
Yes, could I get a couple of these matcha cakes?
Of course. And she will begin to like prepare things together, and as she's
Now,
as she's
I know
getting ready
bakeries
to,
can be like small batch. Like, is there enough for Sin to get a cake for each of the for everyone in the party?
100% yes, absolutely.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, 1000% yes. So you ask for the half dozen that you want to have, and she will say, all right, that will be. She kind of thinks for a second, like she's debating on what the actual price is. Oh, perhaps 7 silver.
All right.
And she will box it all up for you, very, very neatly. Uses tongs to like put everything in the box, very clean. Closes it up and slides it onto the counter, and looks to you. Holds her hand out for the money. 7 silver, please.
Sin gives her 1 whole gold, because Sin tips well,
Thank you.
and it's just like no, I actually have a question about these.
Sure.
Where'd you learn the recipe?
She smiles at you. I have been around a very long time, and I know how to bake all manner of things.
I actually come from the Veil of Night, so I've missed sweets like this.
Well, I hope you enjoy. I just got my shipment from the Veil of Night yesterday, so all the ingredients were fresh.
Were there this might be a silly question. We don't have to answer, but were there any... Your shipment, there were no troubles coming down this way, right?
Not that I know of. But
I'm
I
glad to
pay
hear.
I pay my shipping staff quite a lot of money to make sure that my materials arrive safely.
Makes sense. I can see that this place is probably very popular.
She smiles. I certainly do my best, and I've been in business a long time, so word of mouth spreads quite wide.
So you're Miss Tuppence?
Yes, you may call me Nana.
All right, Nana. My name's Sinark.
It's very nice to meet you, Sinark.
Thank you for these. And Sin
course.
sort of like pulls the box up and sort of feels lighter. And is, and if there's nothing else, just sort of secrets himself away out of the bakery.
Before you leave the bakery, as you're turning and walking your way out, she'll say, "By the way, the Order of the Scribe is 2 blocks from here." And she smiles at you. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Nana.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
And you
Can she read
open the
minds?
door and ting-a-ling over the door.
Yeah, Sin throughout the rest of the way, he's like, "Can dwarves read minds? Is that a thing that I don't know about dwarves? Can she read minds? Is she really a dwarf? She's been in business for a long time. She's secretly a dwarf lich who can read minds." Just the entire way.
Yes. I love all the wild theories about Nanotop. This is so good. So she bids you farewell, and you're pondering existence on the way out to the Order of the Scribe, and you do indeed eventually, you precisely as she said, 2 blocks away on the same street, right on the corner, Order of the Scribe. And you do find that sign. And before we get to that, we're gonna go back to the rest of the group. What is everybody doing? Where are you all going?
Where do we want to identify?
You have many options.
So what do we want to identify?
Yeah, it's
Where do we
Where?
want to pick
Where?
to go?
Yeah, you have
Okay.
many options.
Okay.
it's. I mean, we're in the shopping, well, art area. We could just keep looking for a specialist here. We can just go straight to the college.
Do you think it would be less expensive at the college? Is there some obligation to help the community?
Roll me history for those who are asking that question right now, which so that would be Rev and Dayu.
Can I cast guidance on myself before I
Sure.
do this?
Yes, you may use Skittles on yourself.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
With my +1 in history, I got a 13.
13, okay.
With my plus nothing in history, but my guidance, I also got a 15.
That's so good. You think it's a pretty reasonable idea to think that the college would be more reasonable than going to a wizard or going to the Oracular Guild of the Quicksilver. So the Bard College is probably just the best place to start. It will probably be more cost effective. The bar was not that high to figure out that information. So yeah, absolutely. You can head straight there. You're not far.
I was a little excited to go back to the college. Though we're not here at night, so I believe the College of Spirits stuff is inactive. We're just, but we only really
Correct.
need
It is daytime. Yes.
yeah. But we only need the lore bitches anyways, so it's fine.
Yep. Okay. So you go You make your way over to the Hallowgate Bard College, and you find the offices of the Lore College because the Spirit College is closed during the day. And excuse me. So you are able to arrive there. You speak to one of the student attendants who goes to fetch one of the professors. And as you do, an distinguished individual, an older gentleman, short white hair, it's kind of slicked back. He's got purple glasses, very sharply dressed, very finely dressed man, has a long chain from one of the buttons of his vest to somewhere within his jacket, indicating that he may have a pocket watch. And he walks with a cane and a slight limp. And he walks up to the rest of you and says, "Good afternoon. I am Professor Musgrave. What can I do for you today? I understand you need some identification for an item that you have procured."
Yes. We have a scroll and we don't know what it does.
I see. And you are? And he looks at all of you.
I'm Dayu, and she's just gonna introduce everybody.
Yeah, okay. And he just kind of nods and exchanges pleasantries with you all. He's very friendly. He says, if you don't mind, I could take care of that for you. Is it? You said it is a scroll. May I see it for just a moment?
Mm-hmm.
You produce it and he will take it from you and he looks it over. I could identify this for gold.
Oh, okay.
It won't take me long.
We'll pay just a singular gold.
Yep.
That's what you said. Okay.
Just
Yeah.
gold.
Okay, that shit gets paid.
It is a steal. It is an extreme steal. He looks it over and you see he waves his hand over this thing and so you're standing in the middle of a lobby area. There's like a desk and there's like various accoutrements on some shelves, like little paperweights and things like that. There's a broom in the corner. There's potted plants and all these things. And as he is casting this spell and identifying the scroll, you see in your peripheral, and then you notice it, some of the objects in the room come to life a little bit and start moving around. There's like a little figure that would be like a paperweight, and it just kind of like marches around on the table. It's very cute and very random. And as he gets done with that, the spell concludes, and all the objects return exactly as they were just a moment ago. And he just kind of he hums to himself a little bit while he does this. And when he is done, he says, "Ah. A very good scroll indeed. This is for teleportation circle. That's a very good spell, very useful." And he will hand it back to you.
I knew
Oh. Thank you.
So this could take us to any other teleportation circle, right?
Theoretically.
What's the theory? Do we need permission or something?
Well, it depends on the teleportation circle, my dear. And he will explain the spell to you, and exactly what it does. It also requires you to be able to draw a circle, a teleportation circle. And so you would have to inscribe it with the same type of sigils and the same combination as the destination that you were attempting to go to. So you would need to find someone who knows teleportation circle designs, or find one that you can use later on, take note of that sequence so that you can recreate it later in order to use this scroll. He does also explain to you that it is a one-time use scroll. It is not something that can be used again once it is used. And he does inform you that it requires materials in order to, like, you can use the scroll as long as you can cast a 5th level spell, but it still requires the materials because you have to physically draw the circle. So rare chalk and ink infused with precious gems, it's worth about 50 gold. And the spell consumes that. So once you use those to create that spell, that too is consumed in addition to the scroll.
If we could provide the materials and the correct pattern, is there someone at the college who'd be able to cast the spell for us?
Certainly, I could assist you with that.
Okay. And above table?
Yeah.
Do we think there's some sort of directory? Like, we know that there is a circle.
Let's see. Would I give that to you, or would I make you roll for it? I'm gonna say you're gonna roll for it, because none of you are well-traveled enough to really know this information. So I'm gonna say, give me history. I know, everybody's favorite subject in this group.
Can I roll for it?
Yes, you may roll for it. Yes, you may roll
Can I use guidance? Can I use guidance?
Yes, you may Skittles yourself.
Thank you.
Again, do a luck dice.
Okay.
Okay, that's better. 15.
Okay, 15.
17.
17. Does anybody else want to roll? Okay.
I'm dumb.
Dayu, you are vaguely
Is there one
aware
breakdown?
that you have heard some talk of similar things, but teleportation circles are not common in this world, and the idea of there being a directory of them is not likely at all.
Dai thinks for a little bit, and we'll look to Rev and be like, I don't think there's a directory for that kind of stuff. Maybe we can find someone who's seen the circle in vouchers. That's where we want. That's where we would like to go. Yeah.
You are trying to locate a teleportation circle in Fouchus.
Well, we wanted to go to Fouchus to use their circle to get to Elysia, right? So we know that there's a circle in Elysia as well.
So you are hoping to reach a teleportation circle, a permanent one that is located in Elysia. You're looking to go to Wintergate, I assume?
Yeah.
Okay. He kind of thinks for a second. It's like he's trying to think of like who he might be able to direct you to. Oh, he's got a huge plus to that. That's definitely a lot. He thinks for a second and he says, and your business is your own, your journey is your own. Is there a reason why you are wishing to reach Mount Elysia in such a quick manner? Traveling in teleportation circles is extremely uncommon, unless, of course, there is an emergency of some kind. Is everything all right?
I mean, regardless of her personal ties to it, Rev is a Circle of Stars druid, so I think she explains about the meteor or cosmic event that's going to be happening in a short amount of time.
Oh.
And I'm just not sure that we'd be able to get there overland in time.
I see. And you said this occurs in a few weeks, yes?
Correct.
He thinks for a second. If I may, and he will, hold his hand out, towards the desk, and you see there's, these tubes next to the desk that seem to have, various scrolls and maps and things like that in the tubes next to the desk, and he holds his hand out, and a single piece of paper flies out of this on its own volition and lays itself out on the table. bit of flourish, if you will, and he will walk over to the desk and motion for you all to follow him. And Professor Musgrave kind of just like looks over this map, and he is showing you now a full map of Terra. You are looking at all of the countries, so the world map that I have given you all previously, that is what you are looking at right here and now. And he kind of motions to where you are located on the map itself on Terra, and that you are in Hallowgate Necropolis, and he kind of points to the main roads between Hallowgate all the way up to Blackade, all the way up to the Vale of Night, and he says, well, if you were to cut straight through your homeland, you would be able to get there and with time to spare. If you were to leave today or tomorrow, you could certainly reach Wintergate quite quickly if you just went straight north.
We're just concerned about the condition of the road. Sorry, my headphone fell out.
About the road?
We're just concerned about the conditions of the roads, about attacks. We had quite a time getting down here.
He nods a little bit, but you can tell he's taking note of like Nikita's stature and the gear that you all have, and he can see that you are clearly adventurers. And he says, to each their own. I could direct you to someone who might be familiar with the teleportation circle that is in the capital. However, that would be official business. And I'm not sure that they would allow that for any individuals who are not residents of Wintergate, unless there was truly pressing reasons. Though I am a fan of research myself and can certainly understand the desire for academia, one such as yourself. But I do not think you would be very likely to get approved in that regard, unless it was, of course, a matter of danger, matter of security. Unfortunately.
And I don't imagine I imagine that approval would take time, so
Indeed
if we
it would.
couldn't get it, we would miss out on our travel time. All right, thank you for your help.
Of course. Sorry I could not do more. While I do have some capability for these sorts of things, it is not really my purview. He just kind of... I'm more of a performer myself. Well, if there's nothing further, I wish you all good day and good luck on your journey. I hope you're able to see that phenomena you described.
Thank you. So do I.
He'll probably give you guys a slip of paper to give you instructions on where to find the materials for this spell, and says that the Order of the Scribe will definitely have what you were looking for. And when that occurs, we're going to jump back to Sin really quick. Sin, you are standing on the entry area in front of the door of a stone building. It is very plain on the outside. It is extremely like the Temple of Esherai, but without Esherai's symbology. It is very minimalistic looking on the outside. It is not intricate like some of the other buildings. And it appears to be open. If you would like to head inside.
Yep. Sin has no problem just heading inside.
Okay. Excellent. You go in and you are immediately hit by the smell of old paper and ink. It is, in some cases, a comforting smell for some. Stifling for others, but perhaps for you, you find some matter of comfort in it. It is dimly lit here. There are tables and various individuals walking around in different, not uniform by any means, but generally very plain-looking clothing. There are a couple folks here and there who are a little more elaborately or finely dressed, but most of the folks here appear to be scribes and are therefore dressed in a minimal manner as well, because their job is to focus on knowledge, not on what they are wearing. That tends to be the kind of mindset that scribes tend to have in this world. And there are various people milling about. You see a drow woman who is kind of sitting behind a desk near the entrance. She is poring over a stack of papers, large papers that look like maps in some cases, charts in others, blueprints in others, and she is just kind of she seems to be cataloging. She will look at a page, note something down, flip, move to the next one, look at it over, note something down, flip. And she is in the middle of doing that as you walk into the room. What would you like to do?
Hello, miss. Who would I speak to about getting parchment for a letter and potentially spelling it against people, unwanted recipients reading it?
Oh, one moment. And she looks down at the page, mutters to herself, notes down a thing, flips the page, and then she will take her book and set it on top of that so it sets nothing will fly off the table if she walks away. So she sets the book down, sets her ink and such to the side, very methodically, and she does it quickly too. She's not like taking her time and making you wait. She's like very quickly and methodically doing these things and walks around the counter. She's wearing a very simple white dress and like a dark gray sweater over that. Kind of like an open like cardigan over that. She's got long, kind of like such a pale shade of lavender that it's almost white hair. And it is pulled back in a low bun. No jewelry, no tattoos, no special markings or anything like that. But she is wearing a necklace that is kind of tucked into the neckline of the dress. So you can't see what kind of necklace it is, but it looks to be like a leather corded item. And she says, "So you are looking for parchment. I can help you with that. That is not a problem." And she will lead you over to some shelves on the opposite wall. So technically the other side of the building, and it's a pretty wide building. She walks with you past all these desks and shelves and things of that nature. There's a few display cases, like what you see in museums where they're long and low, and you can just look down into the top of them to see what's inside. There's various books and ancient-looking tomes and artifacts and things of that nature. And takes you to the other side of the room. It's basically in the opposite corner of where her desk was sitting. And there's like a large cubby type shelving unit. And she will open one of those, and there are stacks and stacks and stacks of parchment inside of it. Inks and various things, and some of them look magical and some of them don't. And she will pull regular parchment for you. How much were you looking? How much did you require? Are you a practitioner? Do you need a lot?
No, I just need for two letters.
How many pages? Or one? Do you just need a couple pieces of parchment?
It's just barely anything, honestly. Urgent message to send out.
I see. And she will pull. She'll pull a couple extras as well. And yes, of course. If you only need the small amount, I would be remiss to charge you for such a thing. It's only a couple of pieces, and we make the paper here, and she'll hand it to you. Here, you may have that. And you said you were looking for magic of some kind?
I was wondering if it was possible to make it so the letter needed to be read by a certain person, and if anyone else tried to read it, they couldn't make sense of it.
This dog is losing his damn mind. She listens to you speak, and she's just kind of nodding slowly. And she says, it would require an enchantment of some kind. You would want enchanted paper, I suppose. That's the best way to do that, but imbuing such objects with magic of that nature, that takes weeks to do. That is not a quick... generally, the quickest thing you can do is to use a sending spell if you know anyone who has that. Or if you yourself have the ability to cast sending. That is likely the most secure way to ensure that only the intended recipient receives that message. You could also...
Makes sense.
You could pay a runner to deliver the letter on your behalf and ensure that it only reaches its destination. So if you wanted to pay a messenger to personally deliver that item, so that it goes... You write the letter, you give it to the messenger goes straight to its destination, and that is it.
Do you, who would you recommend as a messenger?
Well, the mail office in the... Excuse me, she was gonna call it the dregs, but she catches herself oh my god, I'm forgetting the name of it.
Weekend.
Yeah, and if you want to go to the mail office in Weekend, you would be able to you could hire a messenger there.
I'm familiar.
Oh,
Understood.
okay. Of course.
Sorry, I was just...
If you don't mind me asking, is everything all right?
I'm out here on political foray for the Veil of Night.
Oh, I see.
And so need to send some urgent messages home.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. But yes, finding a messenger would be your best bet. And please, and she fully hands you like the parchment. Please, you can just take these.
I appreciate it.
I hope you're able to
what's
get
your
your
name?
message out. Oh, you may call me Ella.
It's very nice to meet you. My name is Sinark, and while I may not be much longer in the city, I hope to come back.
Well, we would certainly love to have you. We do appreciate delegations from other countries when they arrive. I wish you well on your business.
Can I actually make use of a desk here to write my letter? It's nice and quiet here.
Of course. Yes, they're open.
And he sits down to start writing.
Okay. And while that is happening, the rest of you are on your way.
I got one more thing to do with Musgrave. I'm so sorry.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
So he is getting ready to bid you farewell and starts to do so, and you stop him in the middle.
Yeah.
Yes.
I go
Lydia,
up to
what can
wait.
I do for you?
How tall is he?
How tall is Professor Musgrave?
How tall is he? Because this is gonna make this next little bit kind of funny.
He's like 6 feet tall.
Awesome.
This
I go up
spindly
to him.
human man.
I go up to him. I look all the way up like this, and I hold the box that has my flute that Kazu bought me last year, and I hold that up to him, and I just go, could you also like maybe identify this?
Okay. I thought you already knew what that did.
I know what it does, but I would like to see if there's a way to tell where it will take us, if used. Because if it's a it is specifically, so it's the on my items, it's the conch of teleportation, but we flavor text it as a flute, and it specifically takes us to one location. It's a fixed destination, but I don't know what that is, and that's the only reason why I haven't fucking blown it. So I want to see if maybe Musgrave, there's a way to tell where it would take us.
Oh.
Yeah, in theory, this thing takes us to a teleportation circle. In theory, that's how I'm understanding it.
No, the teleportation spell is different from teleportation circle. You do not require a circle in order to use the teleportation spell. As for this particular item, let's actually table this and talk about this offline. Because I'm realizing there's verbiage in this item that I did not intend. So we'll talk about this offline.
Okay.
Is that
Okay.
cool? Okay.
That's super cool.
Yeah. My intent was for this to allow you to one time cast the teleportation spell.
Oh.
This was Kazu giving you an oh shit button, basically. If something happens.
Okay.
Now, if we we'll talk about it offline. We'll game this out offline. Okay, let me write that down actually. Conch. Flute.
What phrasing? No phrasing. It's a flute. You blow in it.
You said you'd blow it. Specifically, you said you'd blow it. Typically, you play a flute. Just saying.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so let's table that. I need to reconfigure that because it's been such a long time that I haven't looked at that in ages. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's literally been over a year. That's why I was when I looked at it again.
We'll hand wave and say he helped you with that, and you have that conversation, and we can talk about that later.
Dope.
So you get done speaking with Professor Musgrave, which is funny because you were in the Musgrave district of the city. Not sure if anybody else caught that. He bids you a fond farewell and takes his leave of you. Yeah, very friendly guy. Super nice man.
Do we want to get the supplies?
Yeah, it's up to you if you want.
Well, what else did you guys want to do?
I need to return a book to the library, and I'd like to prepare to start our journey out. As Professor Musgrave said, we could get there if we leave today or tomorrow, and I'd rather not leave things to chance more than I have to.
We'd have to cross straight back, right? Straight back into the Vale, and then to Elysia that way.
That's what he suggested, is going straight rather than going through Fatras.
Is that still what you want to do?
To go straight?
Because originally we were thinking through Fauchus and then back. So the new suggested way is just going back through the Vale. So I'm just asking.
The reason that we wanted to go through Fauchus was because we thought we would be able to teleport into Elysia. If that's off the table, there's no point in going there first if it's so urgent to get there.
Right, that's my understanding as well. And I imagine that we've worn out our welcome with Lord Halligate and the Duke. I can't see them fast-tracking an approval to the Elysian teleportation circle for us.
How much time do we have to travel?
DM, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
You have, I think you have 3 weeks. So... You could, if you left the city tomorrow, you could get to the Vale of Night. If you went straight there and didn't fuck about, took the roads and all that, didn't make any pit stops, you could get to the Vale of Night in a little less than a week. Traveling through the Vale, it would be super fast for you all because it's home territory. You could stop in Ogurai tell the Kaligo Shearer what's up, and then leave and go straight north. There is.
Do we think the Kaligo Shire would have access to that teleportation circle, or probably not?
You don't know if there even is a teleportation circle in Okurai? You have no
Okay.
idea.
I can
That would be
ask.
that would be a question for them, yes.
I can ask like right now.
I think asking is important. They're not going to divulge any information.
Yeah, but even if we can't teleport from there, just a quick stop in Okurai before we head up.
Mm-hmm. Looking is fine. We could maybe try getting some mounts, horses.
Don't we?
You do
yeah.
have
Or-
horses. You have
Oh,
horses
right now, currently.
We have
well,
horses right now.
they will become yours upon your departure from the city. They're
Okay.
being held in the stables for you until you're ready to go.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. If they don't
Yep.
die.
Take them home.
Yep.
We could get winter gear.
You could definitely do that. Really quickly, since I know we're probably going to try to end a little early tonight because I have a very early flight tomorrow for the folks at home, let's take our break here. Think about what you want to do next. Everybody get a snack, stretch, do your thing, and we will be back in 10. Okay. Thanks, guys. Hello, we're back. I'm just waiting for the cameras to load in. There we go. Hi, everybody. I hope you all had a good break. Look at that. We were on time, everybody. I have to be strict and not squirrely today so I can finish packing after this. Anyway, I'm completely fine. Everything's fine, chat. Everything's fine. You identified your scroll. Sin is off on his own adventure, writing letters, and visiting bakeries, making friends with Ella the scribe. We talked to Professor Musgrave about a variety of things. And now the city is, the city is yours.
Question. What time
Answer?
of day is it once we have completed this aspect of things?
At this point in the day, I would say it is probably like, I don't know, 1 o'clock. You've been walking around the city for a few hours at this point, shopping around and such. Lunchtime.
Cool, thanks.
Okay. What would you all like to do? Or should I doodle-doo back to Sin?
You'll do.
Yeah, we're gonna doodle back to Sin? Okay.
Doodle back to Sin.
Doodle on back.
I wasn't sure because I thought you guys were gonna go to the scribe place to get like the
to
ink
get
and stuff.
materials. Yeah, that's what I thought you were gonna do
Yeah.
for the spell. So we'll go back to Sin. Sin, you are writing your letters. May I ask who you are writing letters to?
I am writing to the Kaligo Shire and then to Tani, Rui, and Van.
Okay.
So again, that's why because I think he's just taking his time to write. The Kaligo Shire one, fast and sweet. Just we need more information about the mission. You have withheld too much and it was unwise. We have completed one of the 6 tasks you have given us. Do not treat this with your regular secrecy, for I think it would lead to something very grave. Send note to Fouchus or Wintergrate as a response. It is where we will investigate next.
Okay.
And I think I'll actually leave the other letters maybe as my confession. So...
Okay, that's completely fine.
Yeah, he's being a lot more what's it
Sure.
called? Vague to avoid any telling of the mission, and if the letter gets intercepted, it's not that useful.
Okay. Okay.
But otherwise, I think he'd just go looking for his friends.
Okay. You go looking. What is everybody else doing? Or I can have Sin roll to see if he is able to locate the rest of the party. You want to roll for it?
Locate us.
Locators. All right, give me survival.
Survival.
See if you can track your friends down.
Look
Did
for
I
that
close
big
my thing? I hope I didn't. Oh, you fool. Alright. I'm
You
gonna
have a
tell you
+2
the number.
to survival.
17. So
Excellent.
19.
Yeah, very easily you were able to, run your way through the various alleyways and streets. Whether you actually run or not, you maneuver your
And
way
I roll stealth to
deftly.
see if I can sneak up on them.
Yes.
I
You'll have to make sure you roll higher than everybody's passive perception, because I'm not having them roll to see if they see you.
think my stealth is like a +8 right now, so that's a dirty 20.
Excellent. I can almost guarantee that's higher than everybody except for Revelation.
Me.
Yep. Yeah.
You just beat mine, by the way. My passive
Perfect.
perception's 19. You just beat it.
So
He's trying his best.
Rev, you do. Oh my God, Whitney! Thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs for the community. Thank you. Much appreciated. So you, Rev. You. I feel like at this point in your friendship / relationship with Sinark, you kind of have a supernatural sense for when he is around. Like, you just feel it. And you get that sense right before Sin, you do whatever you're about to do.
Sin just slowly joins at the back of the party, trying to sneak up as close behind Kazuhiko as he can get away with to see just how long it takes for people to notice. So it's just quietly in lockstep of
That is very gay of you.
Oh yeah.
So,
Well, you said that Kazuhiko's at the back of the crowd, so if that's whoever was at the back is the walking order, but if he is still there,
yeah.
I think he'd have fun doing that.
Okay. So you kind of sneak up behind Kazu. Are you close to him, or are you staying a few paces back?
Oh no! Again, like I said,
You're
as close as I can get to just to see how long it would take for me to be discovered.
For that,
I
will have him.
I don't know if Rev is. I don't know if Rev is trying to is gonna give away his position.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty clear to Rev what you're doing when she sort of notices you, and she's not going to give it away.
Okay. So his perception is regardless of your initial stealth, because now you are close to him and in his vicinity, and he does roll a 19. And
okay.
You see,
roll another stealth?
Yeah, take another. Yeah, do another.
Okay.
Another stealth roll. Yeah, sure. I'll switch to this music now.
That's a 19 on the die. So that's
Look at my
27.
Thank you for the sub.
Yay.
He says we love a little sneaky friend. You put a little cat in chat.
Yeah.
What did you roll?
I rolled a 19 on the die, so that's
Ooh.
27.
Oh God. Yeah. You notice his ears just kind of, they perk up for a second, like he thinks he is picking up on something, but you manage to stay in his shadow almost. When he turns a little bit to look and see, and you just kind of sidestep. You know Kazuhiko, you know how he moves from training with him and all of that, and you can tell when he's about to shift his stance. Right before he does it, his body will move in a certain way before he does something like that, and so you're able to step as he steps, and when he looks over his shoulder and sees nothing there, he just goes, huh, and just keeps walking with the rest of the group, completely unaware of the fact that you are sneaking around behind him.
I think it lasts for almost 2 minutes until Din just lets out a really honestly a fucking giggle. He just does a very small should be a little bit more. I thought you were a ranger, my friend.
He of course hears that. His ears are like moving around like, what the fuck? And he turns around and sees you and he goes, how long have you been there? He's like grinning a little bit like, hey, that was pretty good.
Sin knows that Rev saw him at this point and sort of looks over at Rev and he's like, what do you think, like 2 minutes?
Almost 3, I would say.
He just
It's
kind
too funny not
of
to laugh,
crosses
though.
his
I
arms.
probably
but
could have
he's-
followed you all the way home.
Yeah, he crosses his arms, but he's smiling. He's he thinks this is hilarious, and he's like, well, you know what? I'm not a city ranger, so shrugs.
Fair.
If we were out in the wilderness,
swamps,
this would
I'm
be
sure you
another
would've-
story altogether.
Yes, I'd have trees tied behind.
He just kind of he laughs. He's being a good sport about it. Admittedly, it's kind of loud here.
No, yes. And trust me, I'm glad that I giggled instead of going with my initial instinct.
Which was
I'm gonna reach out and try and tickle him, if that's okay.
you reach out to touch him, and he actually will. He's still smiling. He's not acting badly, but he will step out of range. Maybe not.
Yeah, exactly. See, probably would have gotten me punched.
Were you able
Or
to?
if I was fast enough, I could have poked you and then gotten punched.
Probably that. Were you able to get your? Excuse me, the GM is yawning. Were you able to get your errands done?
Yes, I got us all a snack, and I prepared some letters to send home. Did we figure out what the skull was?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It's a teleportation circle.
Oh. Wow.
Sadly, we can't use it yet. It's a bit bigger magic, and we need to know what circle we need to go to, so that becomes the issue. But the plan is now to go back to go up to Elysia through the Veil.
Oh. I'll need to amend my letters. I'd still prefer to send them ahead. Probably faster for a messenger to travel on by themselves than a group with horses.
Perhaps. We found that we would need special access for the teleportation circle in Elysia, so going
Can't
to
we just use
Fortress.
our paperwork to do that?
We need it from someone on this end, and I can't imagine that's a quick process.
I
We'll
suppose.
rarely make it up there as it is. I don't want to risk missing anything by waiting for approval.
Understood. I'm happy to head home anyway.
I'm sure the kids will be very excited to see you.
Sin smiles very wistfully at that, and he's just like, that or they'll be very angry for me only visiting for a day.
I mean, nothing's saying that we can't come after Elysia. We come back to the Veil, because then Fauchis is right there. We need to go there anyways.
And we certainly learned things about the Veil and about these tablets in Holograte. Who knows what we'll learn in Elysia?
Sin looks nervous when you say that and tries to hide it.
Uh-oh. That's ominous. Haha,
Yeah.
I'm in danger. Haha. So you all continue onwards. Where are y'all going? It's the middle of the day. Are you gonna go rest at the Busty Banshee, get some lunch, or what are you doing?
I want to tear off to go to the library. I don't know if anyone else has anything they want to do up in the Pilgrims District.
Yes, as a reminder, the Pilgrims District is where there's a variety of temples in that location.
Which temples are there besides the dead ones?
There's a shrine to Valdin, the Nissos Temple, the Esherai Temple, and the Omira Shrine.
Well, Temple District, I would like to go anyways. I'm behind on my prayers.
Okay.
So I need to go catch up on those.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you all, we're gonna hand wave heading up to the Temple District. The guards escort you to the appropriate location. And on the way, I would like for everyone to roll me perception. I'll take perception from the entire table, please. I will also do that for Kazu. Wow, very good. Kazu rolled fucking killer.
23.
Excellent.
1. Natural.
Kazu, you just beat Kazu. He got a 22. A natural 1. Okay, so...
Looking at Nikita's booty.
Yeah, you are looking at Nikita's booty. It's true. Okay.
25.
Excellent. Whoever rolled higher than an 18. So those of you who rolled 18 or higher, you, as you're being escorted through the city by the guards to get to this other district, you begin to hear rumors that there is planned construction in the city to bypass having to have guards escort you through various levels. It'll basically be a path from the second level all the way up to Pilgrim's Rest to help manage the flow of traffic and security and things of all that. And it's also a pain in the ass to have to get an escort every time you need to go through these sections. So granted, the Pilgrims District isn't exactly popular in terms of foot traffic, but you do hear those rumors. You also hear, actually let me roll for this one. You also hear that there are protests happening outside the city from sentient undead all over Southmore because more sentient undead have not been created in quite some time, and the sentient undead community feels that the Duke is responsible for addressing this issue and for rectifying the issue, especially as an archlich who would potentially have the capability to rectify this issue because, you know, sentient undead, while they can live essentially forever as long as they're not killed, they cannot reproduce, and so their numbers are dwindling. So there are protests about that because nobody fully understands the extent of where the sentient undead come from outside of legends. So it is not really well known who decides when a sentient undead is created or how, precisely. So you hear that on the way. And then you find yourselves in the Temple District. I don't know if this is the right music, but we'll find out.
I need to go return this book. I'm not sure. Should we meet up at the fountain or something?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Sure.
Just be careful with the book. Are you remembering what happened last time and the fact that you almost straight up fucking lost your arm?
You almost lost your arm, it's true.
Mm-hmm.
If you try to damage it, it will fight back. But
Who's going again? Just you, Rev?
Unless anyone else wants to come to the library, I mean, I thought I might look to see if they had anything else on Mount Sirius or where we're headed, but I imagine seeing Aurora's look, I imagine you could find something more fun to do.
Really
Almost
anything.
always.
Sorry.
Yeah?
No,
Yeah?
same sentiment.
Oh, okay.
Literally making out at the fountain.
Okay, so Revelation is the only one going to the Temple of Esherai, is that correct? Okay.
Actually, you might ask, Rev, actually.
Sure.
This is a very long shot, but if you can try to look for the circles, maybe they might have a diagram.
Yeah, I can certainly ask. The librarian was quite helpful the last time I was there.
Mm-hmm. It's a long shot, but if we can find one, then that does make our trip a lot faster. Because we know where to get everything else.
Sin was starting to head towards the fountain, and then seeing those two start to head towards the fountain, he's like, I could read a book.
Okay.
I'm
good.
gonna make a bunch of. I am gonna visit every fucking temple.
Okay.
Above table, Aki
Mm-hmm.
loves to church hop, because I like church architecture.
Me too.
Dayu probably also appreciates the same thing, but like half of the gods here, she's like, I feel like I gotta say hi. So there is that.
So when you arrive to Pilgrim's Rest, I also rolled for the weather. It starts to rain, so now we have changed the music a little bit here. It's a light drizzle. But let's get to what Rev's doing first, and then we'll talk about temple hopping and all of that fun stuff. Rev, you approach the Temple of Esherai. It stands normal as ever. Clearly is open. There are definitely people inside. Not many this time of day. There's probably some folks and different scribes and librarians who have gone off to lunch at this time. But there are various individuals in the all-white ensemble, this very stark uniform of sorts, comfortable clothing, but nondescript and all white or various shades of white, or beige, which, very boring. And they all have, as a reminder, all of them shaved heads. Some have particular markings that seem to indicate some kind of rank, perhaps. Some have them tattooed on their cheek. Others have it on their side of their neck. And other locations that are probably not visible with the type of clothing that they wear. But yeah, you do find folks milling about, and as you stand in the little foyer area with your book that has so far managed to not bite you since the last time it tried to bite you.
Yeah, I mean, if possible, I'd look for the same scribe I talked to last time. I don't know how good of a memory for that face I have.
A lot of these folks are very nondescript looking, almost to the point of eeriness. Not that it's like uncanny valley or anything, but like some of them seem to even share facial features in a way, to make them seem less unique and more nondescript, and the only unique things about them are the tattoos. One person will approach you, clearly dressed in the uniform, and just, yes, sees the book. Are you returning your book?
Among other things, I wanted to ask, and Rev will flip to the pages that were missing. What happened here? This must have happened before the book was a part of the library?
They will take the tome from you, and unless you resist them, then they'll, it's actually their book, so they'll take the tome from you and kind of look at, and what was a very calm expression now looks perturbed. Not super upset, but like, oh, this should not be. He's flipping through the book. Somebody's got race cars. Is flipping through the book, sees where the torn pages are, and just kind of shakes their head. I will have to check the archive to see if there's a note as to why there are pages missing here. I don't know off the top of my head, but I don't... Typically, we don't maintain books that are incomplete. So, this is strange. I can look into it if you wish, but it may take me some time to look through the archive and see if there are notes on the last time this was taken out, or in history in general for this particular tome.
Unfortunately, I won't be in town long enough. I just thought I should bring it up because it seemed a little antithetical, maybe, to Esherai to remove.
It is indeed. Perhaps there was an accident. Sometimes books do get damaged, but typically we are able to restore them, so it is strange that this one is incomplete, for lack of a better term. I can certainly take a look now and see if I can find the information, if you give me some time.
Oh, that would be wonderful. While you do that, could you direct me? I'm looking for books on what is the city at the base of the mountain that is the
Wintergate. Yes.
I'm looking for books about Wintergate, specifically magic, teleportation, any history there.
Wintergate. You're looking for teleportation in Wintergate. That's not telling at all.
Exactly.
They listen to your request and they say, off the top of my head, and I believe my memory is correct, there are books that describe the teleportation circle in Wintergate. However, it is more of a academic study of the structure of the gate itself. If you are looking for information about enchanted architecture, you can do that as well. And I can lead you to that section or just tell you where it is. Up to you.
Yeah, that would be lovely. Thank you. Just point the way.
They will give you instructions as to what row and what shelf it is on, so that you can go and locate that book while they're looking up that information for you. So they take their leave of you. There are other librarians around, so you are not alone, just so you are aware of your surroundings right now. And with your very high passive perception, you are super aware of all the people that are here. This individual takes their leave of you and disappears into a back room, leaving you to wander through the stacks as you search for the location that you are looking for. Roll me a d20.
Oh, just okay. That is an 11.
You wander, you get distracted. You see a couple of interesting looking tomes and you pause and kind of read the spines and you think to yourself, maybe I shouldn't. And you kind of mosey on your way over to where the location was indicated. And you do indeed find a tome that is an arcane architectural examination of the Wintergate. The Wintergate. Which is there is a large teleportation circle that is utilized by the royal family in Elysia. But there is really nothing about the family. They are mentioned in passing in this book, but the rest of it is theory on crafting enchanted permanent structures and teleportation in general, and the notion of how such principles could be applied for permanent teleportation gates rather than teleportation circles themselves. It's a lot of theory and magical science, really, in this book. Doesn't have any details on actual teleportation circles. Why? Because recording teleportation circles is a massive security breach. It's like broadcasting your passwords for all the stuff that you use on the internet. You know, the password to your bank account, for example. It's just like that, but in magic terms. So you're not finding any magic circles, but you do learn some interesting information about how they are created and what they look like, and that might help you in the future. So you might want to note that down.
Will do.
But I look for separate books in the Eshrai Temple.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't realize you were with Rev. I thought Rev went by themselves.
All right, no, because those two were kissing at the fountain. Sin was like, I'm gonna sneak away and read a book then, because I don't want to be a third wheel.
Okay. So you also find yourself in the Temple of Eshrai. And you are greeted by a different librarian. This person appears to be an initiate, so they still have their hair, and their uniform is like a darker gray color rather than white, to indicate the difference in rank. This is a younger individual. They're perhaps they look like they're like 17, and femme individual, blonde hair that's kind of cropped short, and their hair kind of bobs a little bit as they nod to you and say, yes, may I help you? Are you looking for anything in particular?
Yes. Any information about Valdin?
Valdin the Revenant. Okay.
Yes.
There is an entire section dedicated to him. Are you looking for anything specific?
If anything special about how he fought.
Oh, so information about his druidcraft, certainly. Come with me, and they will kind of like not skip, but they have a little bit of pep in their step. They're not as serious looking as the rest of the librarians here, as they lead you over to a particular section. There is a shelf dedicated to all of the sages, not just Valdin, but there are a couple of tomes that are specifically about Valdin, and one that appears to have been written by Valdin himself.
Awesome. Sin is looking for any information about Dirk.
You're looking for information about Dirk. Okay.
Yes. So Sin is trying to if because Valdin's like, you found my sword, but like he doesn't know if Dirk actually has like an actual like name besides Dirk.
Okay. Yep. So you are able to locate a particular tome. It's the one that Valdin wrote, actually.
Mm-hmm.
You do find in this book He is talking about his life and some of his adventures in this kind of like a you know, like a little it's for the bio, it's for the you know, it's for the this is one for the memoir.
It's a travel journal.
It's the memoir. No, it seems he sat down specifically to write stories about his life as he gets older. And yeah, it's him writing his memoirs.
I love it.
And you do find mention of Dirk. It is an item, as you know, referred to as the Dirk of Misconception. And it is because this item is sentient. It is a being. It is not simply a sword. It is a creature that can grow over time with the ability of its user. Which means that the magical abilities that Dirk has currently will grow in time, as you do.
So, it looks like we aptly named you.
He details that he found the sword in a treasure pile in the lair of a particular dragon. And I think I have the name of that dragon. Give me just a second. Hold on. I think I do have this. Nope, not Irgon.
That'd be wild.
That would be. Yeah, he made friends with Irgon a million years ago. I'm just kidding. This is for. Here we go. Teonor. Teonorr. Teonor, the Terrible. A red dragon who was quite foul. And this was a creature that was slain by the sages at one point prior to the Shattering. I love alliteration. I'm not sorry about it. So Teonor the Terrible had a rather large treasure trove in his cave, in his lair. And there... the dragon was slain, but he stole the dirk prior to slaying the dragon. So there were several clashes with Teonor, and the sages themselves found this was before they were the six sages. Actually, they clashed with Teonor several times, tried to negotiate with him, and finally, when he refused to stop eating the villagers, they decided that it was time to fight with Teonor, and did eventually claim all of his riches upon his death. But there are details of these fights, and you find that Valdin had a very particular skill set as it pertains to spores and fungus. He was a Circle of Spores druid. That was his fighting style, but he acted like a rogue quite a bit. Based on his descriptions, he acted in ways that are not dissimilar to how you fight. Despite the fact that he was a caster, he was a scrappy motherfucker.
Yeah, I think Sin sort of takes note of that and sort of I think he has a lot of fun thinking about that. And when he like finishes looking at that, I think he starts just grabbing books and trying to, like, he knows that there's a bunch of people around, but he's like, if I flip through real fast, do you want to read? To Dirk. And he's gonna spend the rest of his time trying to sneak books for Dirk.
Yeah, I was just about to get to that point.
Okay.
You brought a lore-seeking sword into a library.
Yeah.
And you feel just this immense immense curiosity, this immense hunger for knowledge, and you can tell that because of where you are, you're on holy ground. He is actively like curbing himself to not just rip all the books off the shelves and read every single tome in this building. It seems that despite his impulsiveness in every other place you've been, being in a temple gives him pause. To just being a dick and like ripping all the things off the shelves like he normally does.
Gotcha. Then yeah, Sin just sort of like, I think he grabs a couple books and puts them down on the table for Dirk, and sort of like lifts he lifts his sword sheathed over the table and
So,
sees what
yeah,
he
you
can get
hold
away
the-
with, pretty much.
Yeah, you hold the scabbard up and kind of point the eye in the pommel, and it will light up more dimly than usual and just kind of very subtly kind of scan through the book. He is you can feel he is feeling great restraint. He's like, I don't want you to get in trouble. I'm just gonna scan this really quick and then, surreptitiously like push it aside and get the next one. Casually stealth reading in the middle of this library. You're letting your sword read the book. I love that. So you can
That's
tell
what he's gonna be doing until they leave the temple.
and he soaks up whatever you give him. There isn't a single book that he turns away. If you pull something off the shelf, he reads it. And you spend some time doing that, and you feel a sense of gratefulness, a sense of thanks. Rev, was there anything else you wanted to look for regarding the Winter Gate, or was that all you were looking for?
Yeah, that's it for the gate. I think
Okay.
besides that, like while she waits for the scribe to return, she's just sort of curious about if there are general, like, I guess, travel guides or survival guides for getting to the top of the mountain. Anything that would make
Yeah.
that journey better.
Absolutely. Yes, you you don't find a guide for traveling the mountains, but you do find a field guide for the area of Elysium, detailing out various plants and things like that, things that you can subsist on while you are in the wilderness despite the cold, areas that are more likely to have certain types of berries that are edible, certain types of game where you can go hunting and where you should not, and all those various things, different factoids about the area, and just how to generally survive in a place that is extremely snowy pretty much all of the time, with the exception of the city of Wintergate itself. You learn that the city of Wintergate has full seasons, whereas the rest of the country is almost perpetually blanketed in snow, with some minor exceptions in the summertime.
Is it implied that that's a magical effect on the city, or?
It does not detail as to the reasons why that occurs, but
Okay.
imagine if you go there, you'll find out.
Yeah.
The druids, probably.
So eventually the scribe does come back to you. And remind me again, this was the book about Omira, is that correct? That you had grabbed? That you were asking
What?
about? The book that you were asking the scribe about. It was an Omira book, right? Or am I wrong?
I am scrolling up in my notes. It's either a Nisos book or an Omira, or not a Nisos book, a Valdin book or an Omira book.
I think it was an Omira book.
Probably Omira because it was when Rev was looking into the bell.
So they return to you, and they say, this is highly unusual. Unfortunately, the book was tampered with, and it is noted in history, so we were aware that it was damaged, but for some reason we were unable to recover the pages that were taken. So I'm not really sure what might have been on these pages here. And as to the details as to when and whom damaged this tome, I cannot disclose that information. I apologize.
Rev is going to take a chance and watching the scribe's face carefully. We'll just say, of course, the Duke's work has to be kept in confidence.
They look confused, as though they weren't. Yeah, they. Oh, while I cannot disclose, it was not. I can confirm it was not related to any official business of the Duke.
Of course, I must have been mistaken. Thank you.
Of course. And unless you ask them for further assistance, they will take their leave of you. And go back to
Nope,
their
I
duties.
think I have found all that I will be able to find here for now.
Yeah, and on your way out, you find Sin holding the dirk over some books. And at that point, we're going to cut over to Aurora and Nikita. What are y'all doing? Aside from making out by the fountain. You have a moment alone together, is what I'm saying.
Okay, question. How alone are we?
There's really no pilgrims here right now. Dayu has gone off on her own with Kazuhiko in tow, of course. Sin and Revelation both are at the Temple of Eshirai, so it's really just the two of you standing here in this courtyard. Which statue are you hanging out by? Are you by the Valdin statue or are you by the Omira statue?
Which statue provides more cover?
Probably the Omira statue.
Great, that's where we're at.
Okay.
And probably after 20 minutes or something.
Oh my god.
I'll be like, I have to read this letter, and I really don't want to. Will you be here when I open it?
Of course. Do you want to read it right now alone, or?
Yeah. But don't go anywhere. Just...
I'm not leaving.
Okay. And she'll take it out, because presumably she asks in for it at some point during the day.
Yeah.
And she'll take out the dagger her dad gave her, give it a gentle swipe to heat it up, and gently lift up the wax seal rather than damaging it.
While she opens it, Nikita's just gonna kind of just bump next to her, like shoulder, well, I guess arm to shoulder. But she won't look down and read with you, just to give you your privacy, but just be there.
And you receive Aurora's lean back, and then you can kind of feel her, feel herself, and begin reading.
You unfold the page, and it's just a single page. It is a short letter. Yeah, your mother is not a wordy person. And it says, Aurora, please return to the Vale of Night at your earliest convenience. Earliest is underlined. It is of the highest importance. Bring your comrades and do not delay. Nova.
Aurora grips Nikita's arm, the moment she reads the underlined portion, and she says to come home. She says to come home now. What does that mean? Why?
I know that it's a lot. Your dynamic seems like it's a lot, but we're headed there anyway.
And she kind of like looks it over, like turns it over in her hand as if she's going to find more information that
There's
is
nothing.
contained within.
You have no idea what this could be about? Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I don't know. I mean, she wouldn't send it if it wasn't important, but why would it be so vague? Do you think it got worse? What happened at home?
It's possible, or maybe she has more information for us. I'm not super hopeful on that end, though.
It's okay. I don't know what to do. Why would you know what to do? Usually she would tell me, but I guess she did.
Hey, we are going to go there anyway. We'll stop by to see your mother, and then we keep going. You will not be alone the entire time, unless you want to.
Okay. Thank you.
Of course. She'll lean down and give you a forehead kiss.
She'll look up at Nikita and say, I put it off because I knew it had to be something important. It wouldn't be, hope you arrive safely, hope things are going well. No, official business only. It's gotta be to do with the mission. Or something bad at home.
Do you want to keep this between us, or tell everybody?
No, she's gonna want to talk to everyone anyway. Doesn't want to talk to just me. So, yeah, we should tell them. And we should probably leave as soon as possible.
I know it's redundant, but try not to stress too much about it. We have to make our way there anyway. We're going to be going as fast as possible. We have to make our way to Alicia. We're already on the rush. This will be additional information.
If there's one thing I can do, it's ignore my mother for a little while.
I'll be here to distract you if you need me to.
On that note, should we get some, like, wine for the road, or...
That might be a good idea. Though I don't think a bottle or two will last long.
Okay, we gotta calculate how many we think each of us can carry. And that will be what she attempts to distract herself with.
We start doing the math for the bottles we have to take.
Excellent. You guys need a wine carrier of holding. That's what I'm hearing.
Yes.
We'll see if you stumble upon that in a cave somewhere, maybe. So you all, the two of you, just kind of continue to chat and try to comfort yourselves in the wake of this interesting information. Bougie, who was definitely reading over your shoulder as well, is a little bit, he seems to share your opinion of being a little bit worried, given the verbiage of the letter. And Smar is just a happy boy. Big, little head empty, no thoughts whatsoever.
Of course. He doesn't need it. He doesn't need thoughts.
No thoughts. And we're gonna over to Dayu and Kazuhiko.
Real quick about Smar. No math, no taxes, no mortgage, no nothing. Doesn't work 9 to 5. In fact, sleeps 9 to 5.
Truly.
Favorite game, Boomerang.
Very quick, tag
yes.
about bougie, which is just to say that when Aurora realizes that he's also thinking about what she's thinking about, she will just mention, "Oh, but you'll get to see what my home is like and where I grew up and my house," and that's kind of her next
when
thing
you
is.
tell him that, he just kind of like nuzzles his face against yours, like he's like, "Oh, I get to see where mom's from." So he's very happy about that. He gives
You get bougie,
you get
a big ass strawberry.
yeah, that's exactly. You need to get him a strawberry, yeah. I will say, he flashes images of like when you guys are like cuddling in your head, and he flashes images of breakfast, and flashes images of the road. Like he's like, yeah, let's go. And we'll get back to Dayu. Dayu, where are you? Where are you? You're going to the Temple of Nissos, I assume?
Yeah. I do intend to stop by every temple, and I will leave something kind of like just
Like a little tithe.
yeah, like most of it is to be
Coins in the
respectful.
fountains.
Yeah. It's
Offerings
it's
at
a
the
nice
shrines.
mix. Yeah, it's a nice mix of religion, superstition, just being me,
Yep.
and feeling bad that if I go to one temple and not the rest, I have left the other gods out.
Okay.
Also,
so
what do you mean? How am I small? That bed's meant for like a fucking guinea pig, and I just put my lizard in it. Sorry, I'm chat.
I can confirm Aki is pocket size IRL. She's so
Y'all.
small, fits right in your pocket. I'm sure people thought that she was my child while we were at Disney a couple months ago.
I don't know if you noticed, but I actually checked my height on some of the rides when the thing was there because I've been stopped before.
Yep.
I'm 5 feet. I should be able to make all roller coasters, but I've been stopped before.
Oh my god. Next time we hang out in person, I need more pictures of us standing side by side because I'm 5'8", so I am like a full 8 inches taller than you, and I was wearing platform shoes. So I was like giant standing next to you.
It needs to be me, Charmy, Aki, and then you, so then we can like gang up
We need the
next
whole
to
cast.
you. Like,
Just looking like cell phone bars like this.
Alyssa's long, I'm pretty sure, too.
Long.
I'm like
I'm
Not long.
5'6". I'm not that tall.
I'm taller than all of you.
You're still winning.
4 3/4.
Stair steps, exactly. So we
It
need.
goes Aki, Soul/me, and Mari, Alyssa, Mandy.
I was wearing the Minnie Mouse ears, too. If we held hands, it's over for us.
Yeah.
Don't bring your ear logic into real life.
No, I'm not bringing the ear lock. I'm
the
saying
ear lock.
in terms of like because Mandy's like you look like we look like parent and
Oh.
child, and I was wearing Minnie Mouse ears.
Yep.
If we
Understand.
held hands, it's over.
Fully.
I'd have to ask permission to get ice cream. Like, please.
No, you can get your own ice cream, all right? Anyway, we're squirreling out. That's my fault. I'm the one who brought up Disney. The ADHD is strong today, everybody, particularly in me because my brain is very scattered. So you are you're starting at the Temple of Nissos, though. I assume you walk past the before the making out thing happens. You go to the different shrines, the different fountains, and toss coins on your way to the Temple of Nissos, where it stands as ever, empty, immaculately clean. With the exception of very recent offerings that have been left on the shrine at the base of the statue of the assumed figure of Nissos, because mortals don't know what Nissos looks like.
But I do, and it's in my sketchbook.
Yep.
Dayu is gonna leave an offering. It's probably gonna be like a couple coins and like she has like incense and stuff like that, so it's like, you know, things like that. She's going to do her little prayers. In her little prayers this time around, besides, like, okay, well, general thanks for keeping us safe. Your Senatels are mean, but it was nice to see them again. I lied, I'm sorry. I lied, like, right to your face. Oops. It was not nice to see them. It was nice to see, like, 3 of them. I don't like one of them. But, good to know that they appear sometimes. If I could ask that you maybe watch over my sister, specifically, that would be great. Things are happening, and she's very vulnerable right now. And I think she's gonna stay like that for a while. So I could use the extra help. Also, is that your handprint on my man? And like it's just like shit like that. Is that your hand?
My question.
This is your hand, right?
My question for you is: did you bring Kazu with you, or is he waiting outside for you to get done?
I think that's more on him. Like, if he wants to come in,
well,
like, I would never be like, stay here, you know?
He knows that you're religious and tends to try to give you your space when you go and do these things. Unless you ask him to come with you, he will wait outside because he wants to give you...
I have a comment on that, because this is the building that we had to pull a half-dead Dayu out of.
He's standing in the doorway.
Okay.
But he is minding his own fucking business. He is generally in line of sight and can kind of see you. He's not necessarily like in the doorway. He's probably outside, but he's like positioned in a way that he can see where you are.
Within freaking striding distance if Dayu decides to jump back on the damn thing.
Yep.
That's fine. It's genuinely, Dayu doesn't mind when people are around for the religious stuff. Like, as long as you're not actively, like, I don't know, fucking poking her while she's praying, like, actively being a bit of a dick. She doesn't care. Like, the noise doesn't bother her. Everything's loud anyways. So it's, yeah, it would be entirely up to him at that point.
Okay. I think he will eventually... like wander inside because he's curious about he realizes now that you have a connection to Nissos, and is probably a little bit curious, about this, because I think this is the first time you have ever talked about Nissos to Kazuhiko. He's only really aware of your connection to the star, and so as you kind of you're taking care of this, you can see in your periphery that he has wandered into the temple, and is just looking around. He's not like over your shoulder or like, hey, what you doing? He's like keeping a respectful distance in this space, and is just kind of looking around at the architecture and taking note of how clean it is. And you can see like the confusion on his face as to like, why the fuck is it so clean in here, and why are there no priests, and this is weird. Because he's not a religious man. He knows about the gods, but he doesn't, he's not like a, he's not typically a generally devout kind of individual.
Dayu might, kind of chime in and just say, Nissos doesn't have priests. I mean, like, they don't, like, I'm sure that he does, but it's not like the other ones where they stay and kind of sometimes live in the temple and whatnot. They travel.
Interesting. I guess it makes sense. Death wouldn't necessarily have people walking around on his behalf, right? I mean, that would be counterintuitive to what death stands for, right?
I mean, I think Nissos already has people walking for him, so I don't think he needs mortal lives to do that per se.
Are you talking about those people that were in the Duke's court?
Mm-hmm. Technically, that's their job is to.
What were they called again? Death Sentinels, like in the legends?
Yes.
Huh. So they're real.
Mm-hmm. I run into them every now and then.
Far be it for me to question your life or anything you've experienced in the time that we were apart, but how did you know that one? He clearly knew you.
I met that one in Blockade.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
So when you summoned all of those, you said they were everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Well, just him. He just showed up.
Well, if the legends are true, then they appear where there are large concentrations of spirit activity, generally speaking.
Mm-hmm.
But
And then
I thought they all lived in Sombraluz. So if that is the case, and those people we saw were Death Sentinels, what were they doing here? And he points down at the ground. What were they doing here?
mm-hmm. In the flesh too.
He was clearly very real.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to say, I wish Sin had not beat me to punching that piece of shit, because I did not like how he talked to you. What happened that he talked to you like that? I can't imagine.
Oh, I don't know.
You don't know.
Mm-mm.
He said something about you existing being a problem. What does that mean?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah. I tried to find out the last time I came in here, and that didn't go so well. So, I don't know. But I do know that, I upset most of them, or I'm ignored by the rest. And like, when I say ignored, I mean they kind of just like, we make eye contact and then go do our own stuff.
So, this is one of few Death Sentinels that you've spoken to.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah, He shakes his head. Is it weird that they looked familiar to me?
I don't know. When you say familiar, like, do you mean
Like I've seen
the
them
feature?
before.
Hmm.
I'm not sure how or why or when, but something about them. They just seemed familiar.
Maybe you have seen them before.
I can't imagine where.
Your dream. The one that you can't remember, but you woke up the next day with the hand on your chest, and now you can see all of this.
And as you say that, you have an epiphany. You
Finally.
remember from your last conversation, actually not your last conversation with Nissos, but the one in which you were drifting and he pulled you back. And he told you that you were no longer alone. And you realize he did not mean himself. He meant Kazuhiko. Nissos has definitely done something to Kazuhiko.
Mm-hmm.
And as you are having this realization, you see him kind of like touch the handprint on his chest. And he looks a little bit shocked as you're kind of talking this out to him. And he seems to be like seeing something. I will note, Mei Lin has joined you at this point. She kind of wandered in, and she probably sensed that you were in a temple and decided to come back. And you hear her off to the side, and she says, "Oh, they're here. Do you see them?"
Do I see them?
You don't. She says, "Those robed assholes, there's a couple of them here."
Oh.
And
Didn't know
You
they
see-
could hide from me.
you see she's looking in a particular side of the room, and Kazuhiko is also looking. And he looks confused. And he looks to you and says, Can you see them?"
No, this is the first. This doesn't happen usually. I didn't know that they could hide from me.
He looks down at his hand and looks at the sentinels that you can't see. And he just kind of is shaking his head a little bit like he's hearing something. And you hear Mei Lin off to the side go, "Oh, this makes so much sense. This makes
It's
Yes, I'm going to tell you. I'm listening so
Thank
that I can
you.
recount it back to you, of course.
thank you.
They just called him Commander.
Girl! Okay.
And I think your man is going to be a Death Sentinel. But he's still mortal, so I'm not sure how that works. And they both pause, and nobody says anything for a minute, and you're like, what the fuck is happening?
I'm
And
taking
Kazu's-
it all in.
Yeah,
I'm taking it all in.
Kazu's ears kind of flattened, like he heard something he did not like, and he's like, "What do you mean I'm going to be a Death Sentinel when I die?" What?
Well, that's new.
And Mei Lin off to the side is like, "Oh, that's juicy. I can't believe you sold your soul to Nissos. That's wild."
Why did you do that? I had a feeling that you did something kind of weird, but that's a lot.
And Mei Lin goes, "Oh, they're leaving. I guess they like it when he shows up at the temple. They were nice to him, unlike you."
Oh, they're never nice to me. I don't know why.
Well, they did tell you why. You just didn't want to listen.
The balance part.
Well, yeah, that's what they care about.
But how is that my fault?
Kazu is just like shaking his head while you guys are back and forthing on this, and he's just like, "What the fuck did I do? I don't remember agreeing to this."
Well, but you did.
I don't remember asking for this.
I mean,
He just kind of, there's like a bench. He like sits down like, what the fuck?
I'll like kind of hug him.
Mans is clearly having an existential crisis right now.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm gonna go hug him. Like he's sitting, I'm standing. I'm gonna just kind of hug him and like rub his back and stuff like that, and be like, "Aw." Yeah, no, that happens sometimes.
I would really
Maybe
love...
it's for the game.
I would really love to know why, but I guess it's not time for me to know yet.
Yeah. They'll just... I don't know, answers usually come with more questions.
Yeah, that makes sense. I have to admit, I was not expecting this.
I mean, I kind of was.
Life is a death sentence, but also this is a death sentence, so that's a little, weird. Yeah, I think I need a minute. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Take as long as you need.
Yeah, this is a lot to process. So he points to his chest. I don't know who this is from. I mean, why would Nissos bother to mark me? Do we know it's from him? They called me Why? I'm not dead yet. I'm still here. I don't plan on dying anytime soon.
Have you died before?
Closest I got was in the Undercity.
Mm-hmm.
So, shrugs. Yeah, got a lot to think about.
Mm-hmm. It's weird when you know me. Was born to serve, and it's kind of weird to think about it at the beginning, but sometimes it's nice to also not have to worry about the future. The very distant future. Like you still have... Like, you have a purpose. You just need to get to it.
Right.
But that's only...
so.
That's comforting to me. I don't know if that's any comforting to you.
I am still figuring that out. And as you guys have this conversation, is there any last scenes that anybody wants to do before we move into confessionals for tonight? I know this isn't a cliffhanger or a super satisfying place to stop, but it is 11 o'clock and I want to start wrapping up here. Nobody? Everybody good? Okay. We will move into confessions.
Oh, wait. I
deliver
deliver my I don't need a scene. I'm just saying I deliver the letters that have been changed or appropriate.
So, actually, that's a good point. Do we want to... are Nikita and Aurora going to tell the party about these letters? Would you do that in the off-screen time?
I guess, yeah.
Okay.
At the earliest convenience, Aurora would. I mean, I probably would wait until we were all together.
Yeah, I mean, when
so
you're
she
done at
can-
your respective, like, temple visit things, like, you can all meet up if you want. If we want to hand wave, like, this conversation and just say, hey, we really need to go back to the Veil, here's why. Unless you want to roleplay that, we can also hand wave it if you guys want.
I think Aurora
Because I realize
would be
this might affect decisions of what other people want to do, so I want them to have, like, whatever knowledge they might need before they make those decisions. Not that it would do any harm to send the letters, it wouldn't at all. So you can say you sent it before all this if you wanted. It doesn't matter.
I just think it when Sin is told,
Mhm.
Sin is like, we leave tonight. We leave as soon as possible. We leave now if we can, because his babies are there.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, then, since we're talking about it, other than reading the contents of the letter, Aurora will ask Dayu if she has the energy to send a message in return to say, we're leaving Allogate tonight.
Okay. One, Dayu would ask if she's sending, if she is going to send a message tonight. She would prefer to do it tonight. But if we leave first thing in the morning, just so that way she's all fresh with the juice,
Drinking juice.
and also so that way we all have one more night to sleep in a bed and shower. Yeah, I think we we probably have to hand wave off screen buy some shit too, because we ate our rations. So there's still shit that we have not bought yet. Leaving tonight is very not a great idea, because the minute we like step outside, we're gonna get spooked by another fucking
Part of
dragon.
the idea is that was part of what we did during the day, like just replenish our supplies, because Sin did mention that. So it's just a matter of the spell aspect.
It's gonna. Yeah, I know, but it should be the afternoon and it's raining now. Do we really want to leave?
It is raining now.
Sin says yes. Sin looks you straight in the face and says, the earlier we get there, the better.
Rev also says yes.
You already know Kazu's
But you also know that he is. You also know that he is extremely emotional right now.
Okay, let's game this out then, because it's turning into a conversation. So
Sorry.
you've had this reveal, you've had this conversation. The letter is now known to all of you, and Sin is having a emotional reaction to the time in which you all should leave. So that's where the scene is going to start.
We have, at most, 8 hours left of day. It is unwise to travel south more this close tonight. You know this. The rain will make you miserable. And if we run into anything on the road, and I am out of magic, we then have to make camp.
Okay. Okay.
We will go first thing in the morning. 8 hours does not change anything.
It might.
Except potential danger.
Potential danger here, potential danger there. We'll be out at night at Southmore regardless. I think the peace of mind of being on our way is worth one more night of camping.
Tell you it's my family.
You want to see your family.
Asking them to be my family, and he tears the letters out of his like his like clothes where he had them, and he's just like,
You want to see your family alive, right? Do you want to spend more time with your family than the one day we will most likely stay there?
fine, I hear you. All right.
I just want to say, I'm sorry that I didn't open it when I had the chance. We wouldn't be in this situation if I had just read it, and I don't know what's happening.
Aurora, we would have still needed the day to restock.
We just came out of the Undercity. It's not your fault.
No one is mad. Please don't think that I am mad at anyone. I am... He pushes the letters back.
You're stressed. And you want to go home. No
Aurora's
one's
gonna walk
faulting
up.
you on that.
We took
As-
time. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
You go.
We took time and space out of our journey to visit your home. Why is it any different to leave immediately for Sins?
Because we're already going that way, we should just be smart about it. You all wanted to come here after I advised not to. I brought us a guide.
Would it be easier to travel now if you didn't expend any magic until the end of another day? We don't have to respond immediately if the problem is resources. At least we could save that.
Kazu's gonna speak up at this point and say, if it was so urgent that we all needed to return immediately, would we not have received a sending from the Kaligo Shirei or from your mother? Right?
It's not her death yet.
If it was life or death, don't you think we would have been told directly instead of being sent a letter that you might not have gotten right away?
You don't know them. When, like, Sid was so ready to, like, chill out, and his, like, hackles raise and his fur is on edge, he's like, you don't know how selfish and secretive they are.
Actually, I do. So before you go preaching to me, or telling me what I know and don't know, and acting like you are the only person here with a family or people to protect, perhaps consider that moving in better mindset is safer for everyone involved and their families and who they have to protect and what things they have to do. He motions to Revelation. Do you want to reach the mountain in one piece? Do you want to find answers to where you are from? Do you want to speak to your mother? Do you have to go visit your temple? Do you want to see your kids? Well, I would like to see you through all of those things. But if you are acting irrationally and emotionally, we're not going to get there in one piece. And I would prefer that we all live. Is that too much to ask?
I agree with
That letter was
Katsu.
from my mother, not from the Kaligo Shirei. So,
Exactly.
just so you know, she doesn't exactly treat me like her favorite, but she doesn't wish me dead. So at least give her that much respect.
I think we have reached a point where we need to sleep it off
I agree.
and then move. She'll look at Zen. Not necessarily in an intimidating way, but it's very much
Yeah,
like alluding to the previous conflict they've had.
In the background, you guys hear Maylin, and she probably does this because she forgets that you all can hear her now because you're in the necropolis. She goes, wow, they're really dramatic, huh? She's saying that to Dayu.
Sweetheart, they can hear you now.
Sin was about to say something, and he looks in Maylin's direction, and he's
You
just
can
like,
see
you
her.
know what? Fuck this! And he storms off.
I'm not sorry for what I said. Not sorry
Rev
at all.
will go after Sin.
Aurora's gonna send a message at Rev as she's walking away to say, meet us at the Banshee.
Rev will not respond.
Alright, so Sin marches off. And Rev, you follow after him. You are both walking in the rain at this point. You were standing kind of under like a little pavilion sheltered from the drizzle outside, and you are both now actively walking through the Pilgrim District, probably towards the gate, I would imagine. Sin? What
Actually,
direction are you moving in?
I have a question to ask you, Mandy. What are
Sure.
the walls around the pilgrimage area look like?
They are tall stone walls. They're approximately 10, 11 feet tall.
And it's raining.
It is
I have
raining.
claws.
It would be difficult to climb the walls, but not impossible. You can certainly try.
Yeah, Sin does not want to wait for an escort, does not, because he's like,
Oh,
that
boy.
might make me
Alright.
fucking have to walk with them.
Mm-hmm,
So, and he does not want to see them, he does not want to talk to them,
Okay.
because he's pissed. And so I think he's literally marching straight at a wall, and he looks back at Rev and he's like, don't. What?
Just wanted to see how you were. I don't want us wandering off alone. We don't have to talk if you don't want to. But I agree with you.
Oh, dare he say that he knows them? Like he doesn't. All right, he didn't grow up there. None of you really did. Aurora did. But her mom did. You're disrespecting my mom. The whole guard, all of them, and he stomps and he's throwing a fucking tantrum. It's so stupid, it's so childish, and you know that later he's going to like be so embarrassed about it. But right now he is like stomping in the rain, like making like water come up, and then he looks at you and he's just like, their secrets are going to kill us. So what is a little bit of extra danger to leave now?
I mean, I agree. Sinark, it's why I joined them in the first place. You know that I just wanted to know.
I want to be alone. And he turns and he tries to scale the wall to like sneak into the 3rd district and run through as fast as he can to just get away.
Yep. Roll me acrobatics with disadvantage because it is raining.
Okay.
Scaling the wall from the temple district into a residential district, not suspicious and horrible to the guards at all.
During the day, I might add, but I'm here for it. There won't be
Yeah,
consequences at all.
You know me.
I know.
I love consequences.
I know you do.
And I
You're
feel
gonna-
like
you're
if
gonna
this
get
was
them in a
something,
minute.
I feel like if this was something that like was super detrimental, you would at least, it's fine.
Yep.
All right, so that is a 15 on the lower die. Acrobatics 20.
You are able to scale the wall, and you run to the wall and you like give yourself like a hop up and you find purchase. You see that there is just a slight there's like a slight irregularity in the bricks that you can grab onto to kind of hoist yourself up onto the wall. The rain begins to get harder now, but you do see as you look. Actually, do you look around as you get up onto this wall? That's
Yeah, because
my
he's
question.
gonna try to hop to the next rooftop to just run away.
Okay, you do that. And you are up on the the edge that you just jumped onto, you step onto the top of the wall, which you realize is definitely a walkway of some kind. It is something that is meant to be walked upon. And as you do that, and move to the other side, you hear, "Halt! Don't take another step." You there! Identify yourself.
Sin,
And you see a guard, you see a couple of guards, actually. They don't have their weapons drawn, but one does have his hand on the hilt of a sword, and he's asking you to identify yourself. What do you do? Citizens cannot be up here. Please identify yourself.
he just runs.
Okay.
He
All right.
he makes a leap past the. He tries to leap off the wall onto a nearby rooftop to start like running through the rain.
I'm gonna roll to see if he grapples you to stop you from doing that, because you're really not supposed to be up here.
Yes.
Oh, you got so lucky. You leap. He lunges forward as if to stop you, like to restrain you and, to escort you off the wall, because you're not supposed to be up here. But you run and you just jump through the rain. You hear thunder in the distance as you land and slide onto the roof across from here. I need you to roll me a dexterity saving throw, because it is very slick up here, and if you fall off the roof, it's gonna fucking hurt, my friend. Cat or no cat?
Gotcha. Is that with disadvantage as well, or is that just a straight throw?
It is with disadvantage because it is raining. You are on slippery
19.
tiles. Very good.
Thankfully, I have a +8 to my dexterity.
I'm well aware. I know. That's why I don't feel bad giving you disadvantage, because it's fucking.
No, yeah, let's
your
go.
rolls are godlike. So you run, you jump, you have that moment in the air where everything just kind of stands still, and it feels like home for just a second. Running across the rooftops of Okurai, except in this instance, you are very much not home. You are very much being chased, and it is fucking raining. And you land. Your feet make purchase, your paw pads kind of slide a little bit on the tile, and for a moment you have that moment of panic where that tenseness kind of shoots up your spine, where you're like, oh shit, and you realize, okay, nope, I'm fine, and you just keep going. What direction are you going in? What level are you trying to make it to get away from all of this, as these guards shout at you to get
all
down?
the way back all the way back to Weekend.
Okay.
In that moment, right after that moment where
we need different music now.
Right after that moment where he makes the leap, he almost falls. He laughs, and it is half wild, half joy, and then he puts up his hood to protect a little bit from the rain, and just keeps running.
Okay. You are running through the city of Hallowgate Necropolis, and there are guards chasing you. We are now going to do a little bit of a chase scene, because this is worth keeping going instead of stopping now, because I want to see what happens. So you are running across the rooftops. There are guards trying to chase after you, both in the street, and the guards that were on the roofs have also jumped onto the roof after you to stop you from doing whatever you're doing. They probably think you're a burglar at this point instead of just a kid trying to get home. And you, they're chasing after you. They're shouting. We're gonna need to do like a series of checks here as you evade capture from the guards of Hallowgate Necropolis. Because you're breaking the law right now, my dude. You breaking the law.
Sin hasn't broken a law in a long time, so he is, it was overdue.
Yeah. 100%. So cat burglar, 100%. So you are sprinting across these slippery roof tiles, and I'm gonna roll for some of the guards here. Okay. One guard slips and falls on his face, but the other one like leaps over his friend and is still coming after you. As you get to the end of this longer roof, this seems to be like a townhouses of some sort, like a longer building, and you leap to the next one. I'm gonna need again dexterity saving throw at disadvantage.
Okay. So 8, 15.
Oof, that's not quite good enough. So sorry.
No worries.
You run and your foot makes purchase on the very edge of this roof. There are guards on the ground. They are chasing after you. They're close on your heels, just not on your level of where you are at. And as your foot touches the slick, dark blue roof tile, you realize you've made a grave error, and the center of gravity of your movement is not where it needs to be in order for you to continue moving forward. Despite your leap, despite your experience, you begin to fall backwards. I'm gonna give you one last chance to save yourself from landing and taking quite a lot of damage here, because this is not a low roof. So we're gonna do yet another dexterity saving throw at disadvantage to see if you can grab onto something and stop yourself from hitting the ground.
25.
25, very good. So as you do that, you look really quickly, because you've had to save yourself from falling off of roofs before. You reach out to just grab anything you can grab onto, and you are now hanging from, you know those, you know how like a lot of old-timey windows have like those wooden shutters that you can close? You're hanging onto one of those, and really quickly, it is, you grab it, and you've got it, and you realize that your weight is too much for this thing, and it starts to come apart at the hinges. However, you can kind of control your descent a little bit, but because this thing is quite weak, I rolled for it, it looked to be rusted, and you putting weight on it, and your whole body weight onto this thing, you hear the crack of the metal and the splintering of the wood as it starts to come apart from the frame that it is attached to, in order to be utilized by the inhabitants of this home that you are now hanging on the side of. And you do indeed, unfortunately, fall down. However, because you are controlling your descent, it will be less damage.
I don't roll for this
Another
damage.
world table. Nope, I'm rolling. Another world tabletop. Thank you so much for the raid with a party of 20 sweet beans. We are in the middle of a chase as Sinark, our rogue, is running through the city on the rooftops in an unauthorized area of the city. And they are running in the rain across the rooftops, and there's a lot of saves happening here. So we're going to roll for this damage. That is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16 points of bludgeoning damage as you hit the ground. That is actually less than half of what you would have taken if you had just fully failed. So you fall and you hit the ground, but you kind of half land in like a pile of hay. Like you're not sure why there's hay here. It's like Assassin's Creed. There's like random thing of hay. So you land and man, does it hurt. And unfortunately for you, this is when the guards come into your location and they surround you and they say, you know, stop, identify yourself. Like they're not, some of them have weapons drawn, some of them don't, and they just want you to not be running around in here. So what do you say to these folks? Like they're not threatening your life or anything or calling you names. They're just like, you know, identify yourself.
No.
You
He's
shouldn't
just
be
like
here. What do you do?
Yeah, so I think Sin gets up, right, and is sort of looking around, and he's just like, my name is Sinark, I am an envoy from the Vale of Night, and I want to leave without some stupid escort, so I'm just going over the roofs, just let me leave.
One of them recognizes you, and we'll change the music. Oh, I don't have to change the music. one of them actually recognizes you and confirms to like one of the officers present that you are indeed who you say you are, because you have acquainted yourselves with quite a few of the guards in your time here, both in the Duke's court and on your way through the city asking for directions and things of that nature. So people have seen you, and let's be real, you're all very unique looking individuals. Hard to forget. You don't blend in that well, not here. And so they do, and they kind of relax a little bit, but like the officer will step forward with the one that recognized you, and he's gonna say, I mean, you could have asked and we would have just let you go. You didn't have to, jump onto the roofs and, run away. You could have just explained.
It's been a very difficult day, and I am hearing your logic of it, and I'm sorry.
Okay, they kind of dust off and they're like, we're not going to take you in, but you are going to have to pay for the damages. And he points to like the side of the building that's got some damages to it and all that. And he's like, we're going to have to fine you for this at the very least.
Understandable.
All right, and he writes you a ticket.
How much is it? Can I just pay it outright?
50 gold.
50!
Yep. You broke the fucking law! You broke the law!
50 gold?
Listen!
Don't get caught, Sinark.
Don't get caught, Sinark! Don't get fucking caught! You owe the guards 50 gold now.
Cool. Sin was going to like try and pay this outright. He takes it. He's like, I'll have this for you tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, you take the ticket, and they do inform you that if you try to leave the city without paying the ticket, it's going to be an issue. You won't be able to leave. The guards will stop you at the gate. They know that you have an outstanding thing now, so you better take care of that before you leave the city. So they let you know about that. And they say if you prefer to stop by later this evening, you can stop by one of the the guard stations and pay off your ticket, and it'll be written off and you'll be done. Every rogue trope hit the session, truly. So we're gonna turn off the chase music now that you're not being chased anymore. We'll get to, oops, I hit the wrong one. We'll do this one. Back in the Temple District, Revelation, you heard quite a bit of that ruckus, and moving very quickly away from where you saw Sin jump up onto the battlements, the walls that separate the different segments, the different tiers of the Hallowgate Necropolis, and you hear all the shouting and the running and the jumping and the people saying stop, blah, 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 and all this happening. But you no longer see Sinark or the guards that were standing there. As you're either, are you standing there or are you returning to the group?
Are all the guards in the area now chasing Sin? Do I feel any guards around me?
With your passive perception, you do see there are some guards around, yes.
Okay.
This is a very heavily fortified city. There's a lot of guards in this city.
Fair, that's valid.
This is a fortress city.
Then I think Rev will just head back to the library for a couple hours, just
Yeah.
to have some alone time.
Back with the rest of the group, after the outburst that Kazuhiko had, he's just kind of he's like his arms are crossed. He's leaning against the pillar, one of the pillars of this little kind of like gazebo type thing that you guys are standing in under, to have some shelter from the rain. And he just kind of shakes his head and he's like, clearly something has been bothering him, but there's no excuse for irrational behavior. And Malin's like, I'm not sorry either. He was being dramatic.
Oh, please, both of you. Conflict resolution skills.
Malin just kind of looks at you and she's like, I'm dead. I don't have to conflict resolute shit. Okay?
I know.
I call it like I see it. I'm fucking dead, alright? I've already lost basically everything, so...
I
I
know.
think I can call bullshit when I see it, you know?
It's okay.
She shrugs. It's okay, when we leave the city, nobody will hear me talking shit anyway. I'll go back to being unheard.
I'll miss it. Aurora says impulsively.
I'll
too.
miss you. I wish you guys could see me all the time. It feels weird, just like, you know, being seen. You know, by somebody other than you. Not that that's a bad thing. It's not. Listen, there's literally nobody else I would rather be attached to for the rest of eternity, so, you know, that's fine. Twins?
Mm-hmm. It's okay. It's alright. He's just... This is a lot for him. It's a lot for everyone.
Kazu's mouth is just set into a line. He's unhappy.
It's a lot for you too, I know. Just pat, pat, pat.
Dude, Nikita Kazu, man, like...
Yeah, do they do their secret handshake off to the side?
No, they just... They're
I think you
on the
guys
same
have the
page
same
about shit half the time.
Yep.
Well, not even half the time. Like, pretty much everything he says, the kid's like, yeah.
Yeah.
There's clearly a lot of things to unpack. And you can't unpack everything in one day.
Yeah.
You can't really unpack everything in one lifetime.
True.
But you just need to... We just need to be a little bit more understanding.
Sorry, this is what I get for reading chat while we're playing. Sharmi said Nikita about Kazu. I think what he does, only slower. That's so good.
Oh my god.
It's like the processing power, like he has the words for what she feels, you know?
Mm-hmm.
He's like the emotionally developed version of Nikita.
Yeah. Nikita just understood grief in the last few years. Like, she had to unpack that.
And while that's happening, you're having this conversation. Kazu kind of looks at Aurora, and he says, "Do you think I was too harsh?"
I appreciated it, actually. Sin is usually...
He's not normally like this.
Usually he keeps, you know, those kinds of opinions to certain people or certain circumstances. I mean, I know he really doesn't like what the Coligo Shirei is up to, but he's here with us, and, you know he didn't like the Veil Guard, but he used to be friends with Dante, so... I don't know. Gotta be something else going on, right?
Must be, or he's just missing home, which I'm sure you all do.
I'll try to
some extent or another.
address it with him while we travel.
He'll nod. Fair enough. I'll back off, obviously. I don't want to rub salt in the wound. It's definitely not what I want, but as his friend, I refuse to idly sit by while he actively puts himself in danger. It is literally my job to keep you all from danger. And I take that job very seriously. Whether you have me hired on as extra help or simply acting as your friend in friendship, in camaraderie. I refuse to watch any of you dive headlong into harm without good reason. Preferably not at all. Rushing makes you careless. Rushing causes death. I've seen it far too many times. And I don't appreciate being told that I don't know anything about that. Because I do. And surprisingly, though some of you may not have realized this, I am familiar with the Kaligo Shirei. Maybe not to the extent that you are, but I am. I have had to go to the Veil of Night as an envoy before. In fact, I have been there during the times that you were away. He looks at Dayu. Girls from these worlds, thank you for a raid with a party of 12 sweet beans. Welcome in.
Okay, this whole time I was like rubbing like his back, like for like to give him some comfort, and then he drops down. It's like, huh? Shit.
Well,
Illegal Shirei aside. Oh, go ahead.
he was just gonna say, you haven't asked me about my time in the interim. I had a lot to do. And he looks to Nikita. Raises a brow.
Illegal Shirei aside, we have traveled all this time, all this way, and we've almost died multiple times. We know what it looks like. I've learned my lesson. We need to take time with this, and we need to travel together and calmly. Which is a lot coming from me.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm proud of you. You've grown. You're real big already, so don't worry.
I don't know about that. It's almost like I feel like I cannot let myself go if he's like that.
Do you want to let yourself go now?
No.
You could do it in confidence, and he's not here, and then you
It's
would know that the
different.
three of us.
That's not what I meant. I have to stay silent and keep myself in check a lot more when he is like this. I feel like... I was taught to control my temper and impulses growing up. I'm not going to lie. I feel like with him being like this, it is testing those bounds.
I don't think you had the same upbringing growing up.
No.
Oh,
I have
this is
an
not me
idea.
judging you, by the way.
No,
just-
you're fine.
Mm.
I will try to talk to him while we go if he fucking comes back. Who fucking knows?
He will come back.
I suggested to Rev that we meet up back at the Banshee, but then, Sim didn't get back because I didn't send it directly to them, so...
I can send Sin a message.
Okay.
Yeah. We are resting tonight. I think I'm going to be sending roughly 3 messages. So, I would be out of... It's a ritual, so as long as we don't get into fighting and we really, really want to go out now, I can still do the hut. Just the idea is... I just don't want to be out of magic. You rely a lot on it.
I don't think I need the hut for what I'm thinking.
I mean the hut for sleeping if we were outside.
Oh, I thought you meant for fighting. My bad.
No.
Thunderdome.
That does complicate things.
That's what I mean.
Thunderdome.
I use my magic for healing, and we need it a lot.
Yes.
And then I use my magic now to make us feel more comfortable and
We
safer
are
on the
here.
word.
We're staying here today. I mean, if we have to, we outlay them in numbers. So, how about we get some rest and some food and try to feel better, and then maybe when Sin comes to find us, we can give them some, and then they'll feel better too. And I guess Rev eventually.
Mhm.
So you all begin to plan your next steps. Head back to the Busty Banshee, either separately or together, or whatever your choices are.
Tin
We'll
is getting a
leave-
message, like
Okay.
sending message as well. I don't need to RP it out.
Yeah.
You're getting it.
Okay. So all of that happens, and because of the time, we will do pre-fessionals next session, where we will discuss in-character feelings from this session at the beginning of next session. Our next game, we are off next week because I'm going to need some recovery time after Gen Con. As you all know, I do entirely too fucking much, so we are not playing next week. We are off on the 7th. We will be back again on the 14th. So Wednesday, August 14th, same bat time, same bat channel. We will be back, and we're gonna go raid into. Clem. We're gonna go see what Clem's doing. So, thank you to my lovely players. Thank you to everybody in chat for the raids, for the follows, for all the sub bombs and things like that. Thank you so much. It really means a lot. I reinvest all the money I get from this channel back into D&D things and TTRPG things to run. So yeah, thank you all so very much, and we will see you next time. Bye, everybody. Have a good night. And